call upon you, great wind. Toi no ikonoi, spirit of the wind. Let yourself become one with it. Good stuff. Wings. Go. Here we go. A jump. Just for you. Go. Wings. Here I go. The voice of the spirit, only I can hear it.
But not the one we're looking for. Another mission awaits.
Everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Sets Tonight here on Catcom Fighters. You know it is the place to be on a Tuesday, twitch.tv/Catcom Fighters. It is where we have exclusive rights to bring you two players from different parts of the globe and pit them in a ring for the first to 10, as well as get to know them a little better with a pre-match interview and then hear their saltiness after the match with a post-match interview as well. Games, banter, you know it, you love it, only here on a Tuesday with that Tuesday special. But yes, I'm going to be your host once again tonight, Jammers, and alongside me, it's not just me, Novar. Somebody has come back. We've given him a second chance. He decided to prove his worth to me as one of my co-hosts. Now I'm just playing with you. He's back in the house. We got him here. Ladies and gentlemen, he's back from his holiday. There it is. Lord Veggie, talk to me. How you feeling today?
Right now, you gave me a lot of adrenaline in the beginning, thinking I had to go up on the stage and play for everything, but then you calmed me down by saying that you were just joking with me, so now I'm in an extremely good mood. And I had to say, watching the footage at your side while you were talking made it really hard not to get extra excited, because this game is looking ridiculously good right now.
Nice, I like that.
Becky, to me, you're still auditioning tonight.
Wow. Okay.
I expect.
Do you know what? At least someone's being a judge. At least someone's being a judge tonight. But Ovar, talk to me. How you feeling tonight as well?
I'm feeling really good as well, and I was also watching with binoculars, like the small screen when you came into the screen, Jammers.
Oh, sort of what Leon does in Resident Evil 4 when he looks and zooms in on different parts of the game.
Yeah, because I was watching at the developer matches with my binoculars. I'm trying to analyze every frame.
No, that's good. Listen, we have tons of people analyzing it day by day. I'm pretty sure there's somebody. Some of these videos have over 500,000 views. I'm pretty sure somebody's contributed 10,000 of those just by clicking each and every time. I know you guys are hungry. You're salivating at the mouth just as much as we are. But don't worry, less than 2 months. I'm pretty sure some of you guys got a countdown. Some of you guys got a reminder. Some of you booked the day off when it comes to Street Fighter 6. But hey, you know, if Rich can find the graphic, let us not forget. There's three editions of the game. There are 3 editions of the game. I hope you pre-ordered it. If you haven't pre-ordered it, then think about it. Splash some money, splash some cash. There you go. The standard edition is there with just the full game. You have the deluxe edition as well with the full game and and the Season 1 character pass here. Who knows who they're going to be and how many characters going to be is going to be interesting as well. Or you could really splash that cash. You know that local you went to, you earned $20? Put that $20 to the Ultimate Edition and get the full game with the Year 1 Ultimate Pass. I'm hoping maybe on the Sony store, maybe on Steam. I might have to look at if they've got any information regarding what extra content is in the Ultimate Pass. That'd be great. Or maybe they might be able to divulge that later on in the future. June 2nd, I heard a game's coming out on June 2nd. Don't know what it is though. It might be Fighting Street 6. I don't know what it's called. Never heard of it before. But make sure you guys get on that and pre-order it. But Alvar, you want to say something real quick? Sorry.
Yeah, actually, I don't think we've discussed this before, but I wanted to hear about your plans for the launch. Do you have plans for the launch?
Me?
Too.
Oh, Vega, you first.
I can go first if you want. Yeah, so it's very.
You see how fast he jumped on that? Sorry,
go first. Okay,
it's very important. It's very important. Yeah, but it's fitting because I was just on vacation, right? And it's very important to spend time with family and stuff. And
Smart man.
Decided that it's smarter to go on a really good vacation now early because I'm gonna play so much Street Fighter 6 in the summer. So you kind of you're building up for the time that you're gonna spend a lot of time playing Zangief and Marissa, that's for sure. So you're trying to get everything ready for it so that you have the time to put the full focus into the game. So when June 2nd comes, I don't even know how my sleep schedule is going to look like or if I'm going to remember to sleep enough, but I will try. Put on those alarms, make sure to get enough of that that sleep.
Okay, no, that's
actually
good.
I guess Veggy's gonna be in September. He's gonna be honey, we were just on a vacation.
Time will fly indeed.
And Jammers, what about you?
So people have asked. I've been very surprised at how many people actually asked you the question of who you're gonna play. I didn't realize how many people would actually be interested in that. What I'm probably gonna do is I'm probably gonna go radio silent for a little while because I'm just gonna stick. I'm going to stick with the game and figure out what I can figure out with the game and how I want to talk about it. Because talking about Street Fighter 5 is going to be different. Oh, sorry. Talking about Street Fighter 6 is going to be significantly different to how you talk about Street Fighter 5. So there's a lot of commentary things I have to do and apply to 6. I've been taking notes and whatnot now, but I might not stream and do whatever to focus because I think one thing that a lot of people forget about, events and a game that's coming out fresh on launch is for you to be able to have the best events and have people know what they're talking about and know what they're doing, they have to study the subject matter. We can't study the subject matter if you're not giving us time to do it. So I'll be around, obviously, to do certain obligations, but I think most part I'll just be in the lab. I'll just be playing games with people. I'll message people to play games, but for the most part, I probably won't go, hey, I'm streaming, come watch me. I'll just be like, hey, I'm studying, here's what I found, goodbye, back to the lab. Obviously get some sleep in some regard because when I was playing that beta my eyes went completely red because I was just staying awake. So no, that's what I plan to do with the game anyway. I mean, Alvar, what about you? Have you got any special plans? You gonna have friends over or?
For sure. For me, it's a tradition with a small, tight-knit group of FGC people who I've kind of gotten play fighting games for around 10 years or so with, and we're definitely gonna have a launch party between ourselves. But I'm also going to be taking a vacation from work, which is nice, so I'll have time to study on the game, and also I will have time to play the game and get better and compare notes with people and stuff. And I'm actually going to go to Head Stomper as well, which is going to be week after the launch. So shout outs to Head Stomper as well.
Okay, so you've definitely got already hitting the ground running, going to his first event not long after the launch of the game.
Gotta experience that launch hype.
Hey, listen, I respect it, and we should all be excited. But what you should also be excited about is my lovely runner show. Yes, put it on the screen right now. I know that people love this stuff, not really, but I'm going to say it out anyway. Yes, right now we're just having a little talk, catching up with Vegas, who haven't seen him for a little while, as well as recapping on some certain things as well. That is the Street Fighter news section. And then after that, ladies and gentlemen, in about 5 minutes or so, we are going to have our player interview here with our lovely guest tonight. You may have seen it announced, but we'll talk about that very shortly. And then in about 35 minutes to 40 minutes from now, that is when the first to 10 exhibition will begin. Now, yes, we did allude to it. Capcom Fighters did put it up on their Twitter yesterday, but this is the exhibition for tonight. Big thank you to Soundboy for recommending these two because there's been a Scottish resurgence. We had Citizen on a couple of weeks back, and now we've got more Scots coming to join us tonight to talk some Street Fighter. Yes, on the left, Suleymon going up against Naught on the right. These guys have been pretty active recently in preparation for Fighting the Streets number 6. Apparently that's the game that everyone's calling it these days. But yes, I can't wait to hear these guys' thoughts on the game as well. And also, for those of you who don't know, these guys were representing teams at one point. They were part of the Gfinity Elite Series back in 2018. I think 2017, 2018, one of those 2 years there. But what do you think about this one, Veggie? More Scots on the scene. Another matchup that you did mention, Zeku versus Blanca. I don't think we've had it on the show at all, if I recall.
I can at least. I don't think we'd have that many Blancas on in general.
We had Wolfgang.
Yeah, I remember that. And we had. I think you guys had. Did you have Vilju on? No, you had someone else from Finland. Yeah, so we at least had Wolfgang on, but that might. Yeah, there's not been many Blancas on. I'm just gonna leave it at that. So I think that watching, it's really cool for me to see Suleymon and Naught coming back, because I remember that they were really strong when they were playing, and then they just kind of disappeared, didn't play that much, didn't see them anymore. But now on Twitter I've seen highlights from a Blanca, Naught's Blanca, and I think Suleymon is still on the Zeku, and they're playing in their local tournaments, and they're doing at least Suleymon is part of a podcast thing, so they're really coming back to it. So it's going to be really fun to see them both play now, to see how they're playing now, and to see how the new character for Naught is coming in, and to see how this matchup evolves, because I don't really know what to expect when watching this matchup. So it's going to be a great treat.
Indeed it
Jammers
is.
and Olvaha.
What about you? You excited to watch more Blanca, or are you excited to see some Zeku just beat on some Blanca? What's it going to be?
Actually, I've been playing Blanca myself in preparation for 6 and out of curiosity as well for several weeks now. And I think he's a really fun character, and I think he's like especially fun to watch, because some people are way more creative than me. They'll come up with the most crazy setups, just like Wolfgang when he was on. Like, he had some really, really fun setups to watch, like the fake cross-up kind of back jump fears and whatnot. You can watch the episode. We got it all there.
Got the tapes.
But outside of that, these two players aren't like, I'm not the most familiar with them. Obviously, I know them by name. I've seen them play, but I'm looking forward to a longer set, and I have my own opinions on the matchup. I think Zeku has some good options, like Blanca can't throw random Blanca balls, for example, because especially young Zeku has a consistent answer in the run with the slide. That's a consistent answer on the Blanca balls, for example. But I think old Zeku isn't bad either against Blanca, but it's going to be interesting to see.
Well, at one point we'll talk to these guys about the matchup, how they feel about it, of course. But do not forget, ladies and gentlemen, we need you following this channel, because things are in that transition. You blink, Street Fighter 6 is going to be upon us, but we still got a couple of Street Fighter 5 exhibitions coming your way. So we have a positive closeout for the game as well. What I also need you guys to do is right about down there. I know you guys use mobile phones, right? I know some of you have TikToks. Your friends send you TikTok videos in those WhatsApp groups, and you'll laugh at them. What I need you to do is I need you to go over there and hit that follow button. The guys behind the TikTok have been putting in massive amounts of work. They've been putting in some content. They've been collecting. They've been garnering those views. And I want the FGC to show some support as well. Go on TikTok and follow that Street Fighter account here. And who knows? You might see something interesting you might not have seen yet. Who knows? There's going to be a bunch of characters on there.
Yeah, we will.
But these guys are putting in the work, of course. So, yes, like we said as well, there's tons of Street Fighter 6 content to digest. There's developer matches. Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel as well. There's all that stuff there as well. And then, of course, I like the fact that the Street Fighter Twitter account keeps reminding us of how much time is remaining. I'm like, look, just give us the game already. Like, look, no one gets hurt.
It's fleeting.
No one gets hurt. Just give us the game. We can have a good time and stuff like that. But hey, no, everything. Remember, everything is trying to get in order. I'm pretty sure they want to have a smooth release, a very positive release. Don't forget CPT's among us as well. $2 million or $1 million could be in your pocket at home if you just picked up the game on June 2nd and practiced with Blanca and sharp a set we've never seen before. Stuff like that. There it is. Prize pool over $2 million. And I'm hoping, fingers crossed, because I don't think our community manager in the back can tell us this, or maybe they don't have any information regarding this. I'm hoping we get more information regarding the CPT soon, because I think some people, as always, they do like to plan months ahead of time, and they want to stay as competitive as they can and book off work when it's respectable, because Oh, if it was me, I'd just say my boss. I'd just show him that and say bye. No, not really. I wouldn't. That's not a smart thing to do, especially after recent events, of course. But
Yep.
this is a thing. Do not forget, over $2 million in prize pool for the event. CPT finals. Once we get more details on that, we can have
You know
another
what?
discussion regarding that. But yes, talk to me real quick.
You can think about the prize pool, and you might have a lot of things to say. Yeah, you might have a lot of things to say about that, but one thing is for certain: you can do some stuff with that amount of money.
Yeah, I'll buy a house. That's what I'd do.
Yeah,
Buy a house.
sure.
Or I'd pay.
Sky is the
Do you know
limit.
what? I'd pay 2 people in my life to shut up, and they actually would. Legit, they would. I'd be
I
like,
would never shut up.
not you. No, I'm not talking to you two. Like,
Oh.
I can make you guys be quiet for free. That's not. That's not
I
hard.
was like, I'm not gonna be quiet.
Listen, I can make you guys be quiet for free. That's not hard. Anyway, we can talk amongst ourselves as much as you want. But what I do want to do is I want to invite our guests, bring our guests in.
Sorry.
So hopefully we can get these guys in so we can have a lovely chat with them. Suleymon and Naught, if they are there, we can get these guys underway so we can have a lovely discussion with the pair of them. Plenty of things I want to ask them. I just want to turn it into a general discussion as well. So let me find out. Have we got Suleymon and Naught? Can you guys hear me loud and clear?
Hello, can hear you loud and clear, big man.
Hey, there we go. There's Suleymon. Naught, what about you? Can you hear me?
Yep,
There you
loud and
go.
clear.
Perfect. All right, gentlemen, thank you so much for taking time out of your day and joining us on the show. Obviously, in this first part of the show, we get a pre-match interview, get to know you guys a little bit better, ask you about your characters, and obviously what you think about Luke. That's stuff to kind of ease you in there as well. Yes, his character is Zeku. I did see Lucia. I play a bit of Lucia, but I'm not on the screen. So, but yeah, Suleymon, we're going to get his character changed. If he's got a secret Lucia, you can tell me about it now. But no. Okay, so, gentlemen, first of all, I always like to ask people about their origins of their names. I don't care if it's bland. I don't care if it's complex. You need to talk to me. So, Suleymon, we'll start with you. Where does the name Suleymon come from?
So my surname is just Suleymon. I tried to make my username Suleymon at some point, but that was already taken. So I had to keep changing letters and adding some, and now we have Suleymon.
So did you actually go through A, B, C, D, E, F?
I didn't go through A, B's, but I tried to just make it a more phonetic spelling of like how it's like pronounced in like Arabic and stuff like that.
Ah, okay. And you've had this ever since you took fighting games seriously, or just is this your gamer tag?
Nah, I had it since like I'll be honest, like it was Snapchat. That was like the first time I had to put in like Suleymon.
Okay.
So I'm like, alright, cool. Like I had to keep messing about with letters here, and I just figured, you know, that's probably that's a solid name. I can stick with that.
No, fair play. You know, listen, sometimes simple is the best thing you can do. I like that it originated from Snapchat. No, that's brilliant. I like that. Naught, what about you? Where does Naught come from?
Yeah, so I'm gonna echo Sully a little bit here. Yes, it's just part of my name, and yeah, I just think it's actually quite cool. So, yep, that's me.
No, fair play. I like that as well. Keep it nice and simple. And it's easy to remember as well when anyone calls out your name like, Naught, where are you? Instead of Hadouken Hater 81, can't find you. You know, stuff like that.
Can't mistake it.
Can't mistake it. Has anyone mistaken your name in a tournament bracket before, Naught? Or have you been pretty much smooth sailing?
Oh, God.
Wow.
So, yeah, so my CFN is technically 0 Naught, and commentators love to say, oh, Naught. I totally get it, though, that it's just a confusing name. But the thing is, with the CFN, I just wanted Naught on its own, but it got taken, so I had to put in just that little 0 in there, yeah.
Do you know what? I think one of the most infuriating things when you think you've got the right name, the perfect name, no one's taken it, and then the system just tells you it's been taken. It's like, who is taking this name? It's like, you're not that creative, but like, you know, but clearly they are, they're taking it. So, but yeah, okay, my next question will be, Suleymon, you do play Zeku, and we haven't actually seen Zeku, surprisingly, in the past, I'd say year and a half. Like, we've rarely seen him, maybe once or twice, special feature here and there. Since you have been playing Zeku for a little while, could you kind of give me some insight as to maybe the best way to articulate why Zeku fell off, with quotation marks? Why did he fall off?
Yeah, quotation marks definitely doing the work in that sentence, because I don't think he's that weak. I think he's still very much a strong character. I think it was just more a lot of other very strong characters kind of turned up, and like kind of like, for example, like your Luke's, Ed obviously being a lot stronger, and Zeku is still very strong. He still has all the stuff that everyone hated back in the day. It's just that I think it's kind of almost similar to how like Rashid was strong, but everyone forgot about it. Do you know what I mean?
Okay, no, that makes sense. Let me ask you this: do you feel he takes too much work to optimize over easier choices? Shall we say? In the game?
Well, I mean, people like look at it and be like, "Oh no, it's like two stances. I can't be bothering to." What it really is that like young Zeku and old Zeku are by themselves are very like simple, straightforward characters. So it's just you're just learning two very straightforward characters and just kind of learning how to get good with them both. So it's not really that difficult because you can play both of them in like just about every situation because they're both very much strong in their own right. It's just that you can be bothered learning both of them.
Would it be, sorry to cut you off there, would it be safe to assume, because I was actually like thinking about this the other day, because some people say, oh, you know, with Zeku I've got to learn 90 matchups instead of 45. Would an easier way to articulate what Zeku is you're basically playing a team game with no assist in a 1v1?
Yeah, I'd say so.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. The way I go about it when it goes to like matchups, and I'm like, young Zeku didn't really feel too good there. Maybe I'll try old Zeku and see how that plays out. And like that's just how it is. I don't really try to overcomplicate it in terms of like, oh man, I need to like learn this matchup with both characters. It's like no, who's got the time? Like both characters are strong. Let me just work with what like feels right at the time.
Okay.
I just gotta say, Jammers, you just made me think a lot.
Wait, what?
When you said it's like playing a team game with no assist, you really made me think a lot, and you are right.
I
You
actually have a
made me
question
think so
regarding
much.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Omar, you want to ask a question?
Wow.
Yeah, I wanted to ask Suleymon about the fact that do you normally gravitate towards characters like Zeku who have multiple move sets or like
Zeku is definitely like the first character I've had that like stances. I gravitate towards just strong characters in general. Like before Zeku I played Balrog, and I think what dragged me towards like Zeku, I just thought he looked cool. I thought the music was good. He just looked, he's got the whole ninja thing going on. He just looked unique at the time. I think he's like probably one of the cooler design characters of this game. And when I saw his trailer, when I saw his trailer, like I thought everything looked like so flashy and like he just looked like really fun to play. And when I played young Zeku, he was quick. He's very good at like pushing the offense and overloading people's mental stack. And I do like playing dry every now and then, which is why I do appreciate having old Zeku as an option, just to kind of mess with people's like, usually when I go up against people who like know me as well, they'll have the tempo down on my young Zeku. If I switch to old, they'll kind of struggle and be like, why he doesn't have an old, does he? Do you know what I mean? So it's stuff like that.
It's quite an interesting jump from like a character like Balrog, who is a lot of people consider him kind of, simple, or his game plan is kind of simple in the way that he's, using a lot of dash.
That's what it is.
But dash straights and like that kind of thing. So that's what I meant.
I get that, but it's like I said earlier, like Zeku is just two simple characters just merged into one. Like I think the game plan with both young and old is very straightforward. Like when you see Infectious playing young Zeku, he uses like two buttons at most. It's just like that medium punch and then just throw, and then you'll see him stressing out all these top players. Like the game plan is very much like straightforward.
Okay.
But can I ask regarding that? Would you say that young Zeku and old Zeku have a lot of carryover to each other, or are they very different as characters in your opinion? Like carryover is like you go from Ken to Akuma. There's a lot of carryover, right? Is it like that, or is it like going from Ken to I don't know?
Mika.
Give me a name. Mika. Yeah.
I don't think there's a lot of carryover at all. I think it's very different. At some point, I kind of sat down and I was like, okay, I need to learn old Zeku. So I just had to commit to like going on ranked and just only playing old Zeku, regardless of how many points I lost. I had to like not go back to playing young Zeku until I got the points I lost back from just only grinding old Zeku. They are very different. because they both got different game plans, different strengths. That they kind of complement each other. You know what I mean? Like one, like obviously, for example, old Zeku's got invincible DP, a young Zeku's got the 3-frame, etc., etc.
Okay.
Is there any character where it's very important to continuously swap character based on position on the screen or anything like that, or is it more like this character for that and that character for this?
I find myself swapping between two characters when I'm up against either grapplers or zoners. Because I think with like zoners, you want to be able to, you know, put pressure on them when you're like young Zeku and rush them down. But I think once they caught onto that, you might want to switch back to old Zeku, so you know, when you want to play a bit more patient and like again just throw them out the river, throw them out their rhythm. Yeah. Same with old Zeku with the grapplers. If I'm fighting Gief or so, I'll be staying old Zeku to keep him out. But once I get like that knockdown or I'm in, I'll want to be young Zeku just so I can, you know, continue to kind of put that kind of stress on them.
Okay, no, that's interesting. I like that we got to delve in a little bit about Zeku there, but then we can't ignore Naught. I need to find out, because Naught, you took quite a hiatus from this game, and then of all characters, you've come back.
True, man.
And you've played Blanca. Why Blanca? Do you not want any friends? Is that it? What is it?
I know you hate Blanca. I know you hate Blanca jammers. But I think he's a very niche character, and you don't really see him too often. So I'm kind of banking on matchup unfamiliarity right now.
Okay.
And I think he is on paper. There's like a common consensus that Blanca is a wild character, very quote-unquote random.
I mean, if you can tell by the looks, but
I think so. On paper, if you want to see it in a different light, I think he can be a really strong character, man, in neutral and play honest.
I agree.
Okay. Interesting.
The deafening silence from jammers here.
No, yeah, because I'm just trying to figure out what my next counter argument would be to be against honest. But you mentioned matchup unfamiliarity. Now, in the time you've played Blanca, and I don't know if this is a common thing, not just with him, there are several characters to do this. When you figure out that, you know, probably the vast majority of the community don't have that matchup experience, do you solely bank on that, or is there other factors that come into play that will make you want to be a stronger player?
No, absolutely. Yeah, so absolutely not. I don't bank on it. I don't have it as a crutch to use that kind of thing within my game plan. I don't have that as my priority. With characters like Blanca, you need to mix it up. You need to find what is the safe option or the quote-unquote honest option, and the fake option, to always have your opponent guessing on what option you're going to do. Because again, in theory, with Blanca, you can effectively react to all options, but here's another question: are you going to be ready for all of those options at the same time? I would argue not.
Okay.
So that's what I'm trying to kind of play around here, and my main game plan is to basically just hold a lead. So I
definitely know he can play lame. That part, I think he's an expert at definitely playing lame, especially if you lack the knowledge on how to deal with every version of Blanca Ball, whether it's the rainbow roll, the horizontal one, or even V-Trigger 2. Well, I know V-Trigger 1's come to light in the past year or so. That is actually super strong. That was something I definitely overlooked a couple of months ago. But that's just my ignorance towards the character. Sometimes I'll let hate blind me, as opposed to... but that's just me. But let me ask you this then. In your personal opinion, give me 3 characters you don't like fighting as Blanca.
Oh gosh, with the limited matchup knowledge I have with playing as Blanca against other characters, I've had trouble, surprisingly, with Sakura. But I know that she's got some consistent options, and to be honest, like I think she's just a really solid character, and that might be part on me not knowing the matchup. But so Sakura, Seku. Seku is another weird one. I think that matchup specifically is actually quite. I think it's 5-5. I think it's a pretty honest matchup, and it's a really fun one as well. Okay. And what else? I would probably. G's a strange one, man. She's a strange
really
one.
Tough. I feel like it's a really tough one for Blanca.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I would say those are the main ones.
Is there anything specific about G? Or is it just, I don't like his V-trigger, or when he does like a dash straight or a dash low? What is it?
I think it does have to come down with the spacing.
Okay.
With the I'm pretty sure it's the. Is it the low? Like the low?
Yeah.
What's it called?
It's smash under, but the dash low is basically
smash under. Yeah. But even so, even just doing that in neutral, if I'm going to be walking in and out of your range and you do it just at the cusp, sometimes you're just not ready for it. So yeah, it's just some of those matchup minutiaes that you have to get around. Yeah.
Oh, I think that's just difficult in any fighting game, regardless of what character you're playing, or regardless of what character you're fighting against. So yeah, I like that you brought that up though, because there's some things, even if you know it's there in the arsenal and the toolset, you might not be ready for it depending on the scenario. And in Street Fighter 5, with certain things that G had, you kind of had to let it happen, even if it didn't happen in that window you were looking for it. You know, you still get caught off guard by it there. Now
and again, my Blanca's a full thing. It's part of the process. So
listen.
So it's only I've only been playing Blanca for like a limited amount of time, and I did have them as like a little secondary a couple years ago, but I didn't take him seriously. I still had my husband Urian as my main, and so like Blanca has been on the bench for the majority of Street Fighter 5. I think with the addition of the changes to V-Trigger 1, that makes him, in my opinion, really solid. Blanca.
I actually have a question regarding Blanca.
Okay.
So, when you picked up Blanca and you started playing him more actively, do you feel like people react to that character differently compared to when you played Urian? Because Blanca carries a lot of those, initial
100%.
feelings. Yeah. Okay.
100%.
Did you find that people started taunting more or like something like that?
I was thinking more of like. Oh, that's actually an interesting point. Yeah, I've only had a few people taunt me when they got the stun on me. I didn't really experience it that much in the past.
Because you never let them stun you. That's the
exactly. Yeah. So that was a little bit weird, but thinking about it more. So, you know how the clear option with Blanca and Blanca haters is that they mention just random Blanca ball. I've seen with a bunch of players online, they would just jump from full screen in like ridiculous ways, man. And I thought, why are they jumping there?
It's frustration.
And then I think, all right, they're playing around an option that I'm not even thinking about because I'm just trying to play the ground game. Exactly. But they're thinking of the random option, and I'm like, wow. So like for instance, here's an example: playing in the mid screen, the person just randomly back jumps. I see they back jump. I hop forward. I just gain some stage for free because they're playing around that option, and I get it because I am holding down back, but I'm also moving forward as well. So they shouldn't really be banking on that option to come out. So again, it's just very questionable neutral decisions. I think that was actually quite good. That was a good question.
I think we've all done some questionable things and have questionable things in neutral in general. Listen, it's part of life. Some things are done out of frustration, some things are done with a solid game plan in mind. It's just depending on the character, their aesthetics, their tool set, the mechanics. Something's going to annoy you, something you're going to love about them, and make you play a certain way. But yeah, now moving on, I do want to ask you both something, because I know, so for those of you who don't know, just to give you context, these two were representing teams, they were sponsored basically, back in, was it 2018? Was it 2018 or 2017, gentlemen?
I think it was 2018.
2018. All right, so Suleymon, you were part of Team Fnatic, that was it, Fnatic, and Naught, you were part of #United. And this was part of our G-Fini Elite Series. Suleymon, if the chance arose again, for Street Fighter 6. Would you want to be part of that again? Something like that?
Oh yeah, 100%. Like I think the G-Fini Elite Series was really it was a really fun experience. It gave everyone a kind of taste of that esports high pressure, high pressure like environment, and just like the production value was amazing, and just being able to experience that was really awesome. So yeah, no, if something like obviously we've got SFL to kind of like fill that hole now. So like stuff like that would be like a really awesome I'd be totally down to experience that again.
Now, was there something, how to articulate this? Did you have, when you were sponsored at the time, did you have many like obligations or requirements to do as a player? On and off the game, if that makes sense, because I think a lot of people, they want to be sponsored or represent someone, but they don't understand the obligations that come with it. Did you have to do a lot? Did you not have to do many? Like, talk to me.
Well, there was a lot of stuff on the contract, but like if you guys remember, I was on the draft in it, so like there wasn't really like the focus is on like the mainline players. So okay. For the most part, all I had to do was come down, make sure I'm wearing like the merch and whatnot, and just be mindful that when you're at an event that's being streamed, that you are still a representative of that team. So you just need to kind of conduct yourself in a manner that's like just generally respectful, like kind of just common sense stuff. There is like a lot of stuff in terms of just being like mindful about like what brands sponsor your teams. Like for example, if your team's sponsored by Monster, don't be be gassing up any other energy drinks that's like too aggressively, or like don't be trashing Monster, obviously. So stuff like that. But that's mainly what it would be essentially.
I mean, you did mention like some common sense stuff. I hate to break it to you in 2023, and I think some people left their common sense at the door with their keys. Listen, I hate to break it to you, but that's how sometimes people are. No, what about you? If something arose in a similar regard to G-Fini, would you take an opportunity again, or do you think you're kind of done with that kind of sponsored fighting game player life? Or
yeah, that's a good question. I think if I was offered it and I feel like I could do some damage, then yes, I would definitely pick it up and do that again. Yeah, 100%. It was a really exciting time in Gfinity. It was a new wave of kind of that esports in Europe for fighting games, and I think in a sense it kind of paved the way a little bit. But yes, as Sully said, the SFL Europe is making its strides as well, and I tune into that as well. So yeah.
Okay, interesting. And for you, did you have any, similar to probably, do you share the same sentiment as Suleymon in regards to obligation and requirements, or did you have to do something different under your team?
Yep, so it was roughly the same because I was from the draft as well, and I was actually picked first in the draft, and that was really something that kind of took me off guard a bit. Okay. It was an amazing experience, and basically my main obligation was to kind of show up and play some games. The debut game that I had to do was actually against Feggy, and I think that was when the cogs were starting to turn with our team. Okay. Because I think they wanted me. I think they wanted to see what I could do on stage, if I played nervous, if I played well, if I played bad, and just with how the cookie crumbled, I managed to get more opportunities because of that. And then I got into the main roster. So that made it more of like an obligation as well. So because I'm on the main team, I need to get flown down from Aberdeen, and so yeah.
Okay.
You guys had a really good first. Like the start of last season was really good for you guys, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, did you make the playoffs or almost? No, you did, right?
Yeah. So we did, and it was a very, very close set. Very close. Yep.
Oh, that's what happens in these kind of environments. Right, we've got time for 2 more questions before we go to break. I'll ask you both this question. Suleymon, hypothetical scenario here. Let's say, we had more teams to enter a Street Fighter League. Do you think there should be a drafting process in general for players? Or do you think it should be, right, I've got a team, I'm going to hand pick you? Veggie, I'm going to extend this to you as well because you are part of the team. But yeah, do you think there should be a drafting process for fighting game players in general or no?
I love the drafting process. I think that was like really exciting. I feel like they should bring that back and make a whole show out of it. Do you know what I mean? Like they would stream it, and then there'd be like a cycling through all these players that we all know within the EU community, and then just show like this guy got picked by this team.
Who does that already?
No, I agree.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Is it the NBA that does that? Is it the NBA?
I think it's the NBA. Yeah.
I can't remember. A sport actually does that, so I can see this. And Suleymon, I don't know if you watched the Capcom Cup draw for the groups, where they actually made a whole show out of that. So I like that you brought that up, because sometimes that in itself brings attraction. It's just like, oh, we want, like you said, we want to see who gets picked, where they get picked, and then we can theorize and predict the lineups later and that. So I do love the fact that you brought that up, because I think a lot of people I don't think people knew about the drafting process, but not like all of it. They just knew who got picked and who didn't, sort of thing. Like there's just the black and white, if that makes sense. But then I'm thinking as well, Naught, do you share the same sentiment as Suleymon, or do you think there should be no drafting process?
Yeah. I think it would be nice to have that spectacle. I think there's arguments for both, but I think I would definitely approve the more spectacle, make a show of it. It's the draft, who's going to get picked, because it was exciting during that time as well. Okay. Just to see who was picked and who wasn't. Yeah.
Okay, interesting. Veggie, talk to me, because like again, you're representing a very formidable team, very strong team. They've got strong representation. Do you think there should be a drafting process, like maybe every season, or?
I think drafting what is it called? Drafting
process.
What did you call it? Process. Yeah. I was gonna say prospect. I don't know why I was gonna say that, but anyway, it's like a similar thing.
Drafting prospect.
Yeah, for sure. You are as well, my bro. And drafting process, I think it's really good, because if you do it like they did the Capcom Cup draw, right? That you have a show and you have like a representative from each team there maybe, and then they can discuss the players that they want and why they want these players, and then you can see who gets who. And as long as it's not, I do also think that teams should be able to pick like if let's say there's a team that has players on their squad, that they're not required then to pick only players from a draft, so that there's a mix
so
of
you have like
some main players and then like
ones, and then okay,
and then you can decide like that's what I'm thinking. And I think that would just be good, because it would bring more eyes in on the whole process, and it would give a lot more players a reason to stay competitive online and to grind more hours into the game and do more. So I think having both is actually really good, and could just I only see positives really, because if a top player who feels he should be on a team isn't picked on a team, he can still enter the draft and be drafted. So there's no lose for anyone really. It's just, I think it's just, I would not mind that at all. That's my final answer.
I'll leave that open to the floor as well. People that are watching the show right now, do you think there should be a drafting process in some way, shape or form, maybe for a hypothetical invitation or something for Street Fighter 6? Let us know in the comments or whatever. But yes, we have time for one more question. I asked this before we go to the break. It's for the both of you. Suleymon, I want to get your opinion on it first. You might surprise me. You might not. Who do you think is the best character in Street Fighter 5 as we speak? Talk to me.
Best character in Street Fighter 5. I think probably the logical answer is probably Luke in that case.
You said logical. What does your heart say?
My heart says, well, it's because I've been getting like smoked off him quite lately. I want to say Cody, because Soundboy's been cooking us locals quite recently. But because I feel like they both have similar strengths, but I think it's more with like Cody that I find myself like oh man, I ate a light kick and I just lost half my health. Like, what's going on here? But I think Luke is just generally like more solid, has less obvious weaknesses. Like on that front, I think when I'm up against like various Lukes, like he seems like a very airtight character. Sure, he's not like he's obviously a strong guy. He's not ignorant though. I don't think he's like that much of a monster. Like he plays like, you know, simple, straightforward Street Fighter, but he is just definitely he just plays it better than everyone else. I mean, essentially.
I mean, he can like do a whole laundry list of your taxes for you, and you'd get away with it and still be able to win the tournament. But yeah, Naught, what about you? Who do you think is the best character in Street Fighter 5 in your opinion?
Yep. So from the heart, it's gonna be Ed.
Wow, okay, you caught me. Okay,
right,
you caught me off guard with that one.
From the heart, Ed.
You've got about 2 minutes to defend yourself. Go.
I don't need to defend myself. It's from the heart.
Wow. Okay. That's it. He just said mic drop. That's it. Call it a day. All right. If you
that was good. That was such a good answer, though, James. You got to give props for that.
Well, listen. If he's that's what I said before.
Wants what he wants.
Let's not go there. Yes. If you stand by your answer, you like it, say it with your chest, baby. That's what I like. And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, what we are going to do, we're going to take a short break. But when we come back, we're going to have Suleymon and Naught in the lobby for this first to 10. So get your drinks, grab your snacks. We're going to get first to 10 underway. See you in a bit.
One.
よろしくお願いします。さあどっちが勝つんでしょうか。心理戦にも注目していきたいです。いいのが入りましたね今。いいよいいよ。いやー頑張れ。なんかこっちが緊張する。いやーここ気が抜けないですね。出た SL 技。おおしっかり倒しきりましたね。どっちが勝つのこれ。いやもう頑張って。うわこれは痛い。いいんじゃないですかこれ。いけそうですよ。この場面でいい感じに溜まっております。ゲージがなんかもうすごいことになってるよ。うわ決まっちゃいましたね。最高の試合でした。いやもう2人とも天才すぎ。お疲れ。
Space-time distortions. They're still puking out dinosaurs all over the planet.
So, Bikitoa Island's been sealed up for 3 years, and Ibius won't own up to Leviathan's malfunction?
Can you address the reports of exofighter patrols on the island?
Reports of exofighter patrols are simply untrue. IBS is committing all possible resources to the investigation.
Exercise results logged. Sunsetting temporal instance.
Come on back. Drinks on me.
There are hundreds of exofighters running around out there. Everyone's armed, and nobody knows what'll happen next. 1 minute, they could be helping you. The next minute, they're shooting you in the back.
You need to keep fighting until we can figure out how to destroy the Leviathan. It's trying to build stronger exosuits, so it's pulling any exofighter in their hold back in time to these bloody war games.
Like it or not, the exosuit's keeping his alive out there.
But the more we use it, the more it helps Leviathan.
Well, that's not an option.
One way or another.
Value team members, prepare for dimensional integration in 10 minutes.
You stay alive, man. Only you.
If you give an AI like Leviathan the directive, improve our exosuits, It has to complete. It doesn't matter whether that takes 100 tries, a million, all for the perfect suit. More than that.
But at least do me the courtesy of looking me in the face whilst you do it.
Okay, pinky, forefinger, back to middle, full wrist articulation. Then we do it in reverse. Begin.
What the hell are you guys doing?
It's a secret robot handshake.
Good morning, Victoria.
Welcome back to Sets, the first to 10 series here on Capcom Fighters. My name is Olvaha, and I'm joined by Becky and our other host as well, who will be appearing shortly. But before that, Becky, I want to ask you, are you excited for this set?
I'm really excited, especially after I heard Naught say that he thinks Seku is a tough match, but it's 5-5. That means he has a lot of belief in that character. If it's both a tough matchup, but it's also even, that means, I'm excited to see whatever we're gonna see. I do wonder what old Zeku can do to Blanca balls, or if Suleymon is going to stay more young to have a punish on that, or if Naught's even going to be playing that way. There's so many questions, and there's so much time to find answers, and we will find all the answers, I think, during this set. So I'm just excited to experience this with you and Jammers, and learn with you guys, and just have a great time. Let's go.
It's gonna be great. Always love seeing some Blanca, especially now that I picked Blanca myself.
That was
a
kind
really
of
fun character.
That was kind of perfect that you just picked up Blanca, and then we had suddenly
it was
two
fate.
aspiring Blanca mains discussing Blanca in the set's pre-show.
And the assumptions that people have when you play Blanca.
Yeah, that's right. You guys just sit in your little corner with all the Blanca players, all 4 of you.
I'm scratching my head and just,
all of you
scratching
guys are
here
just like,
and being an animal.
Nobody understands our struggles. Nobody knows the matchup, but nobody understands our struggles.
I actually like Blanca design in this game, though.
Yeah, okay.
I think it's fun to fight against Blanca in this game.
That's why I don't ask
That's just me, though. Built different
Look at him rolling on the screen. Let's go.
Anyway, right. So, yes, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for joining us tonight again. Scottish first to send. Like I said, thank you very much to Soundboy for recommending these two. These guys have been putting in that work. We're going to see a matchup that we rarely see on the channel. What a buffer. That crouching medium punch. Do you know what? That's been a nightmare for, I think, since season 3. That button is very good. Gunslinger used to abuse it all the time. Shout out to Gunslinger. Nice V-shift there and a punch.
Really good button. We did hear that Suleymon really likes to, prefers, especially in the earlier stages, he preferred to play Young Zeku, but I think in this matchup, Young Zeku is kind of the way to go because he has a consistent way to answer Blanca's.
Was that on purpose? That can't have been on
I think
purpose,
he
but
wanted
it
to
looked
do
too good
jab
not to
into.
be.
I think he wanted to do jab into Horizonto for something, but I think he did the wrong version of the command grab. He thought he was going to sit there.
He tried to do the up ball, but
oh, he got him. That's dead. That's dead. He's done. Yeah, he hopped through, man. He's going to cancel into the CA. That's going to be round 1. What a round. What a comeback.
Keep it simple. Keep it simple. I like that straight from the target combo.
Oh,
that is such a frustrating way to be shimmied as well. He's just jumping behind you while you're tackling, and you get killed for your troubles.
Do you know what? It's actually been a very good throw bait. I remember Verdoyans used to do it a fair bit. I think Velio still does that.
He does that. I want to give a shout out to my good friend from Finland, who is, I think he's like one of the best Blancas in the EU for sure. Maybe
EU for sure.
Don't worry, he's got an encyclopedia tricks. I know. All right, misses the throw there, walked up and throw. That amazing walk speed there from Young Zeku, using that shout to Earth V skill too. The non-charge version is actually easier to deal with than the charge version, but you can still catch the charge version when it's stored, I should say, the stored version.
Yeah.
In certain scenarios there. He hasn't jumped particularly, not much yet, Suleymon. He might go for a hard read on the B skill too. Yeah, there you go, he already tried to jump.
Yeah, and seriously, that crouching medium punch is one of the best entires in the game, I feel like. Blanca has absolutely one of the best entire normals in the game.
Hulk Sunday, he's looking for that one hit of damage here. Now, Naught can't jump. Oh, speak of the devil, he tried to do...
That's actually a really good anti-air as well.
Well, that's one of the best in the game.
Committed,
I don't think he did, because the scaling...
with the V-skill into forward dash. It's gonna be guess for game. Let's go. Ready with the anti-air. And another one ready with the anti. It's like they're just forgetting about the opponent's action because it's so tight, so close. Especially when you're playing a new character, you might just like overexert a bit in those scenarios.
I actually want to say this about Blanca's entire game as well. When he has those situations where crouching medium punch is not the best option, he can actually do the roundhouse version of the rainbow ball, the up ball, and that's actually a really solid option in certain matchups, like Seth with the axe kick and like dive kicks from Cammy, and I think the flip from Zeku as well.
I think it mainly works in the corner because you won't be able to cross him up, and he's already crouching anyway, so he's storing the charge. He jumps out of the corner there, gets an executioner on that run, unfortunately. And here comes V-Trigger 1, Jungle Dynamo.
Already ready to throw that reversal.
Okay, looking a long way.
Neutral jump, yeah, that looked really good, but that was a good preemptive neutral jump for Jimmy.
He's done, he's done, he's finished.
Yeah. Absolutely done. I'm seeing a lot of hops from Naught as well. I'm interested to see how Sule will be answering that in the future, because I think in this game it is kind of easy to react to, but obviously there are situations where you can make it really ambiguous.
I think
it's there's a mental stack thing where does everyone like to because it is very checkable, but I do notice myself getting hit by a jab after a hop every now and then, so It's also for Naught, it's about learning when to do it. As he's learning the character, he needs to kind of feel out, get a feeling of when it's good for him to do it or not. So he has a lot of stuff to still figure out, I guess, since it's a new character.
Right, and it gets the slide in there. Now, here's the thing you have to remember as well. When Zeku hits that roundhouse, is it going to be a 500 stun or you're done? That's what it's going to be. it's one of the two. Right, there we go. Good reversal there from Naught, going back to the neutral here. And here again, just as Ulvaha was mentioning before. A lot of damage here. He's going to spend the core. I don't know about that. I think he could have saved up some pressure or something. Because he already had the corner.
That both these characters have such a solid anti-air option with the V-trigger as well. Both of these characters have a great V-trigger for anti-airing.
And Suleymon has been having a really good read on when Naught wants to press on defense, and that's how he's really opening up this round. I'm not really sure, how does that V-trigger work outside of the... does it have a good priority, Jammers? Do you know, or Ulvaha? If you just use it like that?
It amplifies his Blanca Ball, Rainbow Roll,
what are you like? Did you ask about Blanca?
Yeah, he asked about Blanca Ball.
Yeah, so basically his electricity becomes better because he makes a big hop before that.
Well,
so
he gets the frame advantage is slightly less. He just gets better screen carry, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
but also
his
Blanca Balls become slightly harder to punish, and they go through projectiles as well. And then
they go through V-shift as well, apparently.
Nice with punish. The chat is screaming Suleymon, unofficial mascot of Footsies, and as he's doing that, he's confirming the standing fierce and with punishing with a crouch medium punch just for the round.
Beautiful.
Beautiful interaction.
I guess he really
player
is.
to chat and then chat back to player. Love to see it. Love to see it, Jammers.
Well,
and
they willed it to existence.
It's
the unofficial mascot.
It's 2-0 right now to Suleymon. This is looking really good. Naught's had some moments. I think he hasn't been able to fully capitalize off of the V-Trigger one just yet. And remember, the damage differential between these two, it's not night and day, but you could come close to it because one character, he said you could play honest, but Zeku might beat you in that honest department. Nice jump.
For sure, nice jump
beautiful jump though. Almost looked like he did it on reaction.
And again, he wakes up with a reversal straight into the V-Trigger 2 for the side swap. Not a lot of damage, but if he gets a clean hit here, he'll be able to convert again. Or he can be able to use the V-Trigger to stop a Blanca Ball, I think.
Nice counter carry.
Counter hit, nice work, and he's gonna confirm that into the...
Oh, that was frame kill. That must have been a frame kill.
That was so sick.
Yeah, that was... I think if it was a quick rise, it would have been a guard break.
So much is happening though. What's it gonna be? He's so patient on defense now. Suleymon with the delay.
No,
not getting hit. Oh
he
my
actually
days.
could have lost because of that. Oh my word.
Yeah. And he gets hit by the confirmed one more on the inside.
That's safe. That's safe. That is safe for
He
both.
must have wanted to chip. He must have wanted to chip.
Yeah. That's the thing. Like, Fierce Blanca Ball is cancelable, but if it goes too much of a distance, it doesn't. It's not cancelable anymore.
Well, but I mean, there's many rounds still for Naught to make the adjustments.
Still,
he had a good, he really had a good one there. Nice backdash after the V skill.
Good jump.
But gets red.
This is the thing, that V skill is actually pretty powerful when you get the hit and you've got a life lead, but when the opponent is snuffing it out and they want to jump in on you, the risk reward's there, and that's done. Wow. That's going to be 3-0. That's going to be 3-0. He's finished. This combo's not going to be done. Oh my word! I swear he could have done more. Surely he
did something funny.
Something else. He let the animation.
It looked like almost like a taunt.
Oh, no, wow. He let the animation rock. Watch out for the reversal. I mean,
he's
is that reversal?
Is the DP coming? Is it coming? No, that's a throw. Can't take anything. Can't take anything.
Where reversal. It was a
my days, yeah, that must have been a reversal. That delay was too sick to be. Oh, wow.
Never in the lifetime of Street Fighter 5 have I seen someone sit there for 1.5 seconds and just do. No one's done that.
But if you would think anyone could do it, it would be the Zeku players because they are inclined to wake up, stand medium punch.
That was Gunslinger who started that.
True,
yeah,
that's true.
Yeah, that's true. But you know,
I'm just saying. Literally, I'm just saying. It's a case where they're taking advantage of the parry system. It seems that Zeku literally took advantage of it the most because of obviously his wake up animation.
Which people struggled with.
I struggle with it too.
I still struggle with it now.
I do too.
Me too.
I just didn't want to be the only one, guys.
Don't worry, you're in the club, bro.
Oh, okay. Now the thing is, for me, Naught's just find it difficult to get a full combo, a clean hit.
Yeah. Because that's also a thing with Blanca. I feel it's like your openings they're not really that great from neutral. I feel.
Guard break,
Oh, wow,
guard
he's
break.
actually letting
Yeah,
it
he
guard
let it
break.
rock.
He's not getting the conversion from it. Nice. Almost like a bait.
I
Finds
think
the
it's
V-trigger.
the anti-air once again. That's a really, really good
But
option.
the thing is, he's not. It doesn't do a lot of damage for me. The screen carry is
Yeah,
fantastic. It's not doing
Yeah.
a lot of damage for me. That's a trap, by the way. I remember a French player showed me that years ago. It still works. Forward throw. You can get another one.
Here's the comeback coming though, and that V-trigger. Any hit is gonna be huge. Is it? No, not enough. Too much scaling, but
Decent
I mean,
damage.
you're in the corner, yeah.
Oh, he's
And
dead.
he finds the
With the
punish
V-shift thing.
Yeah, he's
on
done.
the V-shift.
What's really interesting is Suleiman's committing to a normal into a special and then going into that. So he's confident that he can catch Naught in these certain areas to challenge and convert to the V-trigger too. And Naught hasn't been trying to bait that and make him overcommit because he can punish, but this has just found his timing, his rhythm maybe.
Nice, finds the hit. And this time the initial jump is anti-aired. No change up. Let's go.
Wow, you're lucky.
You might
If
need to-
he did a different version of the Gram Koku there, you would have got hit and that V-skill 2 would not come out. That is plus on block. Oh, combo.
I feel like Naught has a good read on when he's like really invested in doing his stuff. And he's getting some clean jumps from that, but the conversions haven't been that great. Let's see what the corner's gonna give him this time. Another wake up
It gets you all the
DP
time. It gets you, mate. It's such a threat for the
Oh,
corner,
that's
and because he's airborne, because he was airborne, he couldn't finish him. He's not dead though.
Yeah.
No, he's not
This
dead.
is wild right now.
Oh my god, he has this. Oh, that's. I feel like Naught has been so close in these several occasions, but he just can't get the game, like the ball rolling. See what I did there? Oh my.
Oh yeah, look, mate.
I'll see myself out.
No pun intended, but it's all close but no cigar. He's getting his hits, but the real mind game is when Naught gives him the V-trigger 2 and he doesn't know what's coming next. Right now, he can try to hop through him, but you could be susceptible to a grab, a delayed throw, or maybe a delayed button. Put yourself in the corner, and that's where Zeku thrives. He has the wall jump option, and he also has DP into V-trigger 2 if it's old form. So if he can knock him down in young form and the V-trigger 2's there, he's got more of a chance to land some solid Oki. But it's difficult at the moment. It's difficult.
Yeah, Suleymon definitely very prepared for this matchup and knows what to do. Has that confirmed the whip punishes.
Punish. That's a clean punish. Yeah, that's guaranteed.
Nice punish combo.
That's guaranteed. There's a wall jump.
That was a great. Yeah, I like the
Oh, and
activation.
he
but too
rolls
far
over
for the
the
anti-air.
That is finicky. Like, even though it's a good anti-air option, it does hop a little bit forward. So sometimes punishing things like that from the air can get really finicky with Blanca if you're trying to use the V-trigger.
Alright, pressure being applied here, walking, and then using that poke, that Rufus poke with the crouching medium punch.
Yeah,
It's
not
such a
really
good
ready
one.
to check any of this right now. And I like the attempt. Oh, just too far. That was lucky for Naught. But I like the attempt with a jump. Heavy punch on the young Zeku. That button is really good. Blanca's jumping button. I don't know how I would interact with the stand medium kick, but gets caught again.
It's just difficult for him to keep up. Nice anti. I rarely see that
Yeah, that
these
was
days with the
perfect.
horizontal.
Yeah.
That is the
Yeah, that was a
anti for young
perfect answer.
form.
Yeah, that was a perfect answer to what I was kind of wondering with the jumping heavy
Corner
punch.
carry as well, but he wasted all of it.
But that's my problem. He exhausts the V-trigger and he's not really getting
I think he's
anything
being
out
a
of
little
it.
bit too trigger happy with it. I think he'd get more bang with his buck if he played V-trigger too, because like I don't think the V-trigger 1 right now is doing what it needs to be.
Well, we'll ask him afterwards if he put any time
for
into
sure.
V-trigger
Ooh,
2.
no
but
punish still on the strike.
jump got him. Yeah.
Preemptive, yeah. No, Suleymon has really good read on like the heavy commitments from Naught when he's jumping, and I feel like even when he's getting anti-aired, there's not much happening afterwards, so he's not really deterred from taking to the skies. So
I think also what I've actually discussed with Viljo from Finland, who is a Blanca player, like we discussed before, I think he prefers V-skill 1 in this matchup, so he likes to challenge young Zeku with the hops, for example.
Okay.
And it also adds a layer to his footsies, because if you do like a standing fierce, you can buffer that into the, you know, the launcher from the V-skill 1. So
Yes.
I think that's something that he might want to try, because he does like to play lane with Blanca, so maybe he should try to emphasize the footsie factor.
He gets a throw right here now,
It's
trying
tough.
to do a dash-up throw, didn't quite work, so a dash-up throw from Suleymon works in his favor here, backs off for there for a moment, and gets a punish.
Nice though.
He's going to spend it to put him in the corner here from that ground shade rolling attack, try to bait him.
It's interesting, but he
Got him again.
easily loses out on the corner position by hopping forward into the corner, so I'm not...
Rotate.
nice tech.
And now if he doesn't jump, I think he's done. Yeah, he's done.
Oh yeah. That's
feel
a
like
lot of damage.
I wonder if it's possible to slow down the momentum more on Naught side, because I feel like he's getting dashed on and getting kind of overwhelmed, and I wonder if he could slow down, if he could then make the slow climb to get things back.
Yeah, exactly.
Suleymon is not really deterred from going in, and it's working out for him.
Low forward couldn't cancel it because I think he's walking forward. I think he crouched forward instead of crouched back.
I like the fact that Sule is just so very content as sitting with all Zeku right now. Like you said, he's not checking the dashes right now. He's kind of letting Sule play his own game completely right now, and the staggers as well.
And there's a V-shift, yeah, he can hold it and mix him up. And that's the thing, when you V-shift, it could be a throw, it could be a jab check, it could be a wall jump, and now he's got to watch out for the reversal. Oh no, he's going to jump, so he can't.
You think Blanca is a slippery character? Look at Zeku just avoiding everything.
Did he want that?
Did he try to go through him? Did he want the go through him thing?
Yeah, he's done. Oh, that's 6-0.
That is very demoralizing at this point. And even if you're not going to change anything, I think a little bit of a break here and there would not do bad at this point, because what do you have to lose in this situation? You might as well take a breather, because you're kind of feeding into the
momentum.
Whole
yeah, because he's got momentum.
Yeah,
so the quicker you go back into the game, like he's going to keep his momentum, but it looks like he's gone right back into it here. No, it's 6-0 here to Suleymon.
And I do really feel like Naught is a player that could easily check dashes and check over aggression like he did there. And I think that if he could just recognize that that's one of his big things now, I think we will see a slow, steady climb to get back in form.
Yeah.
Nice.
Savage crush counter. There we go.
Nice confirm.
He's just letting it out more. Just as he pressed Suleymon with the jump again, it's like he knows exactly what time he's going to commit.
And even when you have a really good button, like crouching medium punches Blanca for anti-air, like it just goes to show how
that could have been whip punished into unskilled damage there. That really could have been caught, that down forward hard punch.
Oh, nice. Didn't get the conversion though.
He's done. He's done.
The activation instead. Yeah, that is huge.
Oh no, okay. So I did less damage than I thought. The scaling kicks in there. Anti-air.
Nice.
This is big. He's not going to have a reversal, so you're going to have to take advantage of this.
He's probably going to...
Delay! Oh, he got him!
That was...
He got him! He took the risk, and you know what? He's 6 games up. Do whatever the hell you want, because he fell for it. He needs a lifeline. If you throw him something and he hook, line, and sinker, he got him.
Damn, that must feel good for Sule.
Yeah,
you had nothing to lose. You had nothing to lose at that point.
He might take this round because of that. He might have been mentally overwhelmed there. That's pressure being applied.
Electricity.
Suleymon has great timings on his interruptions as well, and there's a dash, not ready to check it. He just finds the timing over and over again.
So oppressive right now, and just every reversal seems to work as well for Sule. That's not, he just needed that one little hit.
I wonder, is there a good whip punish button that Blanca really has? I feel like that is his only, that is like his weakness in neutral, is that he has great buttons, but he doesn't get big stuff from whiff punishing, so you can really be over aggressive with your button presses.
So
in a way,
EX Blanca Ball is kind of a decent whiff punish, but that's
already
resources and you need charge as well, so it's not like really super reliable in that sense.
Yeah, you already got to be locked in place for that. You got to know the spacing. Crouch fist might work. A lot of this stuff you want to convert into a knockdown. I mean, you might have to just whip punish into, similar to Seth, you might just do down forward hard punch, get knocked down and work from there.
That's true.
It doesn't have to be like super big. Oh, he got the cross out.
That's that cross out. You know, it can be very awkward to anti-air a close Zeku jumping. Even Blanca's crouch medium punch showing issues there, and finds another confirmed Suleymon. The delay is still there. Nice, not teching or pressing from Naught though.
Oh, and the challenge there to the plus frames. Now we're going to go back to the corner. Jump blitz press.
Good block there, and the delay. He's got him in the corner. Let's see if he can take advantage of this, because this is huge, and he tried to...
Nice, he gets the block though.
He might lose this if he's not careful. One hit will do
nice
it.
Break from Sule though.
I love it.
No, that could have been...
Get away from me!
That could have been the round!
That is... Dude, crouching medium kick links into itself on counter hit, but the range was insufficient. That was so sad.
But I just love that overhead, because you know any hit there from Suleymon would have been deadly, but he was just out of range for the mediums to connect, and he just kind of like went over them and landed that overhead. Is this the beginning of the end?
Let's go. He's gonna get some Oki from that. Every time you do that electricity from the air, like you get
punish. Yeah, he can't arbitrarily or haphazardly use the blankables like you guys mentioned before. The run slide will catch him. The stun's racking up here. He's in trouble.
Yeah, the meaty is there.
All right.
Plus frames, plus frames, plus frames.
Nice.
There is a tight gap into low forward into EX Gram Koku there, so you can do it. Got fully invincible move.
There we go. He delayed it this time, so he got them.
Hop through. And he's gonna get with the first set.
Away. What's it gonna be?
He got him. He's dead. He's done. He's
gonna get out.
Yeah, he got
that was
caught
such a great wait. Yeah.
That's so unfortunate, but it's like in the heat of the moment, it's so easy to forget when Zeku has the V trigger that he's just gonna press the button here and anti-air me completely.
I feel like the neutral jump shimmy, a lot more people are ready for it these days than in the beginning.
For sure, so absolutely,
it's
100%.
a lot higher risk.
Yeah, because it took
than
about
used to be.
like 4 years for people to
just
take the throw.
anti-airing it. Yeah.
Alright, dashes up here, can hit, confirm into EX. Bushinsho straight to the corner here. This is not looking good. 2 throws might rack up something. There's an interruption. Good block.
Great block. Punish on it. Finds the hit anyway.
He did a rainbow roll. I think he did the rainbow roll.
Yeah, that was the rainbow roll.
Oh, nice. Gets under, gets the auto-corrected anti-air.
I like these hops. I like these hops actually to answer the beat reversal. I'm actually taking notes here.
He could have lost.
Suleymon really just adapted on the spot to the over-aggression and was ready to check the dash. And finds that awkward angle again.
Dude, that young Zeku jump arc, so good. It's like, wow.
The thing is, when they toned down, there was a season, I think it was the season that Blanca came out. It might have been the season afterwards. There was a season where Zeku could not do that jump meeting kick because every anti-air hit behind the character's head, so he couldn't do that. The moment they toned that down, it's like, yo, his jump meeting kick became one of the best jump meeting kicks in the game. And again,
I just want to say,
Suleymon, because he's been finding that angle, as Veggie has been alluding to, find that angle that like you want to think your anti is going to work, but it don't. It really don't.
I mean, that's simple geometry.
Wow, gets the jump in without a tech.
Oh, back throw on the stun.
Oh, by the way, Veggie, you were saying something?
Oh, yeah, we'll just birdie down play, you know. He could always do that jump medium kick even before birdies was nerfed. Just had to say it. You know, I have to. I'm sorry.
Man, what's new?
Nothing.
It's not looking good. Wake up buttons here.
Oh, he's here to here though.
Damn. Sule is just playing so on point. And confirming that as well. Damn.
He's just falling short. Every time he gets... It's just the reward for me against Zeku is not big enough. And then when he tries to get to momentum, Suleiman's like 2 steps ahead, gets a reversal, does a V-shift. So he's mixing up the options.
Oh, nice. Okay.
I feel like Suleymon has all on lockdown right now. With punishes, confirms, the change of pace, ready to check, knows when he's not going to get checked. Nice. He's watching from Naught.
And he's going to get the corner as well.
Well, he's in trigger, so... And he works up with the button, yeah.
And the young Zeku wake up, yeah, it's so hard to deal with.
This is huge. Good damage coming in.
He's going to lose the V trigger as well. That's so demoralizing.
Man, this is not good.
Still has super though.
This is not good.
Nice block.
Okay.
He needs something going, and he's trying to snuff it out with a neutral jump heavy kick. I think he worked earlier. Not needs that hit. He went here.
Nice back throw.
Got him again.
Another one.
Another one.
And Suleymon repeats the behavior with a jump instead. And back throws.
Wow. Fights fire with fire. He was like, you like back throws? Here's mine.
Okay, he went to that well one too many times. Now, it does work the first time. After that, you got to mix things up. Maybe the jump would have worked. Maybe like a dash up medium punch or something would have worked there. But that is looking very bleak there. And you know what? I love the empty jump for him. And it looks like he's going right back into the fray. This could potentially be our last game. It's been a little while since
goodness, I gotta say, I mean, there has to be some kind of a reward for being stubborn. I gotta say, Naught, like not taking a break in between. I gotta hand it to you, like respect.
Oh, punch there, and he gets hit by the buffer or confirm. I'm not really sure anymore because I haven't seen that on block once. Nice.
Nice answer on the electricity. That roundhouse, I feel like it's really hard for Blanca to deal with because he doesn't have a 3-framer, so, you know.
There we go. Oh, yeah, that is legit. He tried to go through and do a gimmick there, but you can press, if you wake up with crouch jab, it doesn't have a hitbox, hurtbox behind him. So let's see what happens
really
here.
Smart. He knows what he's doing.
Well, like, you could lose to a meaty heavy. After this, if he guesses wrong, I think that's a wrap. Yeah, if he does the whole thing,
so unfortunate.
if he guesses wrong, I think that's the round.
Oh, there it is. Just like clockwork, baby.
Oh no, match point here, ladies and gentlemen. Are we seeing a 10-0? I don't think. Let me check the records. I think we had one.
It's been quite some time.
No, hold on. I'm not sure if we've had one this year. I don't think we've had one this year. Oh.
This the season.
Well,
but we might have the greatest comeback of all time.
Yeah, I mean,
nice.
When you yell, the jungle answers back.
I think they've taken a day off because it was Easter. So backs away.
Oh, this is so dangerous, and he gets this
Starts racking up.
A comeback of
Starts racking up. Oh boy. Oh no. Oh, that could have been it.
Oh, he gets the hit. Oh.
If he does DP, it's done. Okay.
Oh, that's that frame kill you spoke of, Jammers.
He was away. That's fine.
He's out of there. He is out of there.
He has super. Tries to backdash. Gets the hit. He comes super. Strike. Oh, anything. Any hit.
Please. Oh, he could have done.
This is so dangerous.
No, I think he
can't breathe.
Oh,
there it is. There it is.
Bird with punish with to the super. This is the beginning of the greatest comeback of all time.
When you shout to the jungle answers back.
Well, I mean, listen. Let's see if we can finish this one because that immediate disadvantage at the moment, and he had enough active frames to blank for the hit.
Oh, he's using it while he was in old mode, just abusing it, right? And then
now the Blanca balls are here.
I like it. Just keep doing that. That was such a great adaptation.
Hold on a minute.
He was saving all the Blanca balls this round.
The reversal for the knockdown there. That's going to be a punish. That should have been a full punish from the target combo, but I think he was messed up by the airborne state that Blanca was in there, Suleymon.
What a buffer. What a beautiful buffer.
And he's going to get Oki here. Nice V-shift.
But there's not really much from it.
Yeah, he offered a hand.
He's got a block.
I want to shake your hand.
He's just got a block.
This is really kind of a dangerous place to be in, but Naught will have the activation.
Nice enter here.
But he didn't get the activation. Oh, he definitely wanted it.
Oh, no. Please stop whiffing, my friend.
Oh, you also was afraid of the DP? No.
Oh, no.
This is it. This is it. That's it. That's the game. Oh, that could have been the game. Wow, how did you block that?
That was a cross-up.
Oh, my God.
Oh, he's done. That's it. Game over. He's chipped him. He can chip him. No, that's it. Unless he does a... That's it. That's done.
Big brain action. He built the meter.
Oh, no,
that was
that's
so
it.
close.
Death by chip. I'm not sure how he could have mixed out in that last one to take the game, but it was again the classic example.
No
close,
dip.
no cigar. But ladies and gentlemen, the man with two forms. He showed you so many combos. He showed you the V trigger too, but he done it in a dominating fashion. Yes, that's it. Suleymon takes this a clean 10-0. This might be, I might have to check the records. This might be our first 10-0 of the year and one of our last sets for Street Fighter 5. Dominate performance. Let me see the GGs in the chat. We show that sportsmanship here.
Suleymon just reminded us how great he is as a player and how great Zeku is as a character.
He is the
that
unofficial
combination
mascot.
is unmatched. Yeah, he is the official mascot.
No, yeah, he's not. He's not
mascot.
on. Yeah, he's the official now. He's the official mascot of Footsies.
Footsies.
Well, while you two decide whether he's unofficial or official, what we are going to do is we are going to go to a quick break. And when we come back, we're going to have our gentlemen in the chat so we can talk to them about this matchup and what went right and what went wrong. We'll see you in a couple of minutes.
You can connect with a net battler on the other side of the planet whenever you want. Cyber Society sure is something.
Yes.
Okay.
All right, everyone, and welcome back to tonight's episode of Sets featuring Suleymon and Naught. It was an all-Scottish affair, but as you can see to the scoreline here, well, one reigns supreme over the other. I don't think need to check the records back. I've got some notes in front of me, but I haven't updated them. I believe that might have been our first 10-0 of the year 2023, calendar year, of course. But yes, let me find out. Suleymon, Naught, can you both hear me loud and clear once again?
Loud and clear, Jammers.
Yes, sir.
All right, perfect. So, Suleymon, congratulations on that dominating performance. It's like you never left. It's like you've just been here the whole time, and you still remember. Oh, go on.
Yeah, I will be honest. Like, I've still been playing quite recently. Like I mentioned, the Scottish scene has been quite. We've had a wee bit of a resurgence as of late, and we've all been like running games with each other on a weekly basis. Even with the tournaments as well. Like, Naught's been attending them as well, where he's actually got, like, to be fair to him, he's got like a positive record on me in those tournaments. So I did have to do my homework a bit in preparation for this.
I like that. Now, before we get into the nitty-gritty of what happened just a minute ago, this resurgence you mentioned just a moment ago, what brought it about? Was it like, hey, Street Fighter 6 is coming, let's get together and start playing again? Or did you all say, let's give Street Fighter 5 a good send-off before going into 6? What was it that wanted to bring back this resurgence?
I think it's both, really. I think primarily, it's Street Fighter 6 coming back, and I think back to the times of where, like, our local sessions when Street Fighter 5 came and how the locals were, like, very, like, there was a lot of people attending them, and it was really vibrant, and it was really fun to attend, but there was a bit of a drop-off afterwards once the SF4 guys realized they didn't really like SF5, and some had, like, other commitments. So the resurgence was mainly brought about is that we finally managed to get a venue where we could host our weekly sessions, and I wanted to make our weekly sessions fun. So I got the idea of making like two weekly round robins, one online, one offline.
Okay.
And we all accumulate points, and it contributes to a league table. And I just said to everyone, look, guys, this is what we're going to use for seeding for Street Fighter 6. Okay. And so this is what we're working for. So we're going to have like a post SF5 season, and we're gonna have like a little league, and we're gonna end it at the end of the game. And my whole point was just like make it as fun as possible. And as a result, it was received quite well. Like, a lot of old faces I knew were coming in, and we've been like it's reignited my love for the game as well. So I've been able to enjoy Street Fighter 5 again, knowing that 2 times a week I've got all these guys who want to play as well.
That's not bad. I like that.
Actually,
I like that.
yeah. I wanted to actually ask about that, Sule. Do you feel like recently, now that you've started doing that twice a week kind of a round robin thing, do you feel like people have got better in a short amount of time, or do you think that it was already kind of established for a lot of people beforehand?
I think for a lot of us were already good. However, it has really contributed a lot to like the strength of some of our players up in like the upper diamond level. Like shout outs to Hydro, is one of our Ed players. You might have ran into one ranked every now and then. He's someone that has improved quite significantly as we've managed to get our locals a bit more consistent. Nice. And we also we also do a lot of knowledge sharing, and we also do a bit of coaching for our players in like the gold and platinum section.
Okay.
So every now and then we'll just jump into like a voice call, and we'll be like in the guy's ear. We'll be like pit crew essentially, and we'll basically be guiding him through his ranked games and whatnot. So we do a lot of we do a bit of training for like the players who are still like in the developing stages of their game and whatnot.
I like this process, and I like that you guys are doing it as soon as possible to kind of get everyone reinvigorated, and then it turns into a smooth transition for 6, as if all we're doing is just change the game. We don't have to really change anything else. Obviously, with a new game comes new meta, new tactics. Obviously, you'll get more. I imagine you're going to get more people coming into this from the Scottish scene and just wanted to join you guys as well, because obviously the new game hype. So I'm actually looking forward to that and enjoying this. Now, let's go back to the set, because again, that was a dominating performance. Now, you got to talk to me. Your perspective, what is your strategy going into the Blanca matchup? And then I want you to answer me, why did you pick V-Trigger 2 over V-Trigger 1?
Well, so in terms of the Blanca matchup, well, I don't really play the Blanca matchup. I played like the Naught matchup. So one of the ways that Naught was consistently beating me in locals was that he was consistently outspacing me. His spacing was a lot better at the time, and I got I was very too proactive on defense. I'd get easily flustered. So going into this match, I made sure to kind of like ham it down again and get a good idea on, what's fake, what isn't, and make sure. But I think the main priority would always be spacing. And I like switching up with old Zeku as well, like even in like dash in, even when it looks like I'm on the back foot, just to make sure I'm making it hard to keep up with my rhythm and whatnot. But that was the main thing. Apologies, would you be able to repeat the second question as well?
Why did you pick V-Trigger 2 over V-Trigger 1? Was it because of how mobile Blanka can be, or is it for something else?
V-Trigger 2 genuinely has much better damage output from more situations. Like you'll see in one of the games that he tried to neutral jump, and I was able to just like pop V-Trigger and get the kill off that. So it was, it's got more utility. It's very good. I don't want to call it as a panic button, but like it's very like when you see them in the air and you're like, okay, I need to get an easy good chunk of damage on the board, and it really helps with the momentum shift with the side switch as well.
Exactly.
So it's a really reliable V-Trigger on that front.
Okay, interesting. There was also something else I noticed you did from early on, and I think you had over a 90% success rate doing it. There were times where Naught was gaining momentum, or he was kind of like delaying his pressure. You were in V-Trigger 2, you'd commit to a button into a special in V-Trigger 2. Was that just understanding Naught's rhythm and his patterns, or were you just like, nah, I'm just not letting you get anything started, and I know this is going to hit? Like, do you mind walking me through that?
I think it's very much like, it's kind of like a leap of faith / feeling yourself type thing, where it's just kind of like, it's you kind of have to like just trust in like the moment and just be like, you know what? This guy, if I were him, I would try and like run in on me right now. So let me just throw this light kick out and then just commit to it. If it blocked, like I got to hold that, and it's skill issue. But if I get hit, then like exact same thing. Yeah, well done.
Okay. Now there was another thing I really wanted to. Well, there's not many Zeku players left, and sometimes there's some like character like specialists I can't really have a conversation with because it might just devolve into nothing. It's Zeku's defensive options under certain scenarios. When you're in the corner. When you were in old form, you had reversal into V-Trigger 2. You were mixing up with V-Shift, but then also in young form, you had the V-Shift, but you could also wall jump. That was interesting. Now, would it be safe to assume, from your perspective, because I've never actually sat down with this character unless I had to lab something or get ready for a commentary gig. Has he got some of the better defensive options in the game, do you feel? Or is it just kind of mediocre like a lot of other characters, Suleymon?
Nah, I think his defense is very good. I think the corner mix-up of whether I can wall jump, it usually makes people back up and gives me a bit more breathing space. And the elephant in the room, I don't really get to utilize it against Naught, as like Naught is one of the guys who's usually very consistent on it. But obviously young Zeku's back rise animation looks a bit fruity, so people usually struggle to meaty that. But it's not something it's nothing I've ever been able to like utilize against Naught. So it's one of those ones, but I'd say his defense options are really solid. I think it's especially like the rewards you get off of like for example old Zeku EXDP into corner, like that's stressful. Do you know what I mean? Like that's a lot to take.
Well, so yeah, after you've worked to put them in the corner, and then there's a threat of him just doing a fully invincible move and putting you in the corner. I know he spends resources to do it, but I think it's the fact that it's available there. So.
Yeah, no, it's a crazy momentum shift. So yeah, I'd say a young Zeku's defense is very old. Zeku in general's defense is very strong.
Now, Naught, what about? Oh, do you want to ask Suleymon something?
Yeah, I just want to ask you because for a while I thought you were just buffering Stan like you into V-Trigger 2 because you were hitting it a lot. But then I started noticing that when you had V-Trigger 2, you would do Stan like it and it would be blocked and nothing came out. So are you interaction confirming with the? Are you?
And so when you say interacting confirm, okay. is that basically like when I throw it out, I'm thinking like, oh yeah, I feel like this is a scenario where
are you pressing because you see the opponent is pressing something back, or is it more like a whiff punish? Because you never did it on block, but you kept using Stan like it a lot, and when it was a hit, you would always go into the V-Trigger 2. Is there like was it just random that it went this way, or did you have some kind of like the way you play around with it?
I can say like I can tell you for sure I don't lab like confirms on this kind of stuff. So I think it's just very much of just kind of recognizing the situation. Like so it is very much like I said, like yeah, you get pretty much random. Like but it's not like I'm just like throwing out willy-nilly saying like but it is more like you kind of like assess the situation. I'm like, if I were him, I would try and close the gap as soon as possible. So I would just throw out my light kick. and gamble. Yeah,
you had a really high success rate on it, so it was really good, and it never came out on block. So I was just wondering if it was a trick to it, but I guess you just have that feeling of when it's like that. What is it called when you have like a?
I'd say game feeling. I don't know. Game feel, I'd say, or something like that.
Yeah.
And another thing, like, I'm not sure how much this contributed to it as well, but I just specifically picked this costume because I just heard a lot of people get mixed up between the old Zeku and young Zeku form, because obviously the young Zeku's form's got the hat that old Zeku has in other costumes.
Yeah,
so I was just like,
I mean, not many people pay attention to the top of his head. They're worried about how he's gonna get up, and what angle he's gonna jump at. You know, this could be very difficult. But Naught, let's talk to you for a bit. You did say this matchup was even, but for me watching this, it looked like you weren't getting the reward you should have been getting, because it looked difficult to whiff punish at times. But I don't think Blanca's necessarily the whiff punishing character. And it was a case of, when you did have good anti-air scenarios, I think you weren't. Again, I just think I think Zeku was just getting more damage than you in a lot of aspects. Is that safe to say that, or was I wrong in that?
Yeah. So going with the anti-air point of view, I was getting some anti-airs with crouching medium, and with the anti-air, depending on when it hits, you can't cancel it. So the cancel window is actually quite strict with that move, because normally you would see crouching medium into the hop, and you would get slightly better position. But for whatever reason, when I was doing the anti-air, it would just be at that inopportune time. So that was my bad. And I think Sully just played really solid, man. He done his homework, man. And you have to give him credit. 10-0, convincing, man.
100%. Now there was another thing as well. We were curious about. So you picked V-Trigger 1, and obviously we've been eulogizing it before the matchup started, because it actually is pretty damn good. I felt at times you might have exhausted it a little too hard, because you were getting screen carry. You got obviously a lot of decent pressure scenarios, but nothing was coming from it. Do you think that were you trying to use it quickly so you could get another one in the same round, or was it just put him in the corner and then we'll
a second
mix
instance?
him up from there?
So that was basically my game plan going in.
Right.
Try and build as much fee gauge as possible with fee skill, and when I'm able to get my fee trigger, I just pop it and get that guaranteed chip, and then turtle it out again. But again, I think that kind of backfired on me doing that. So yeah,
that was unfortunate.
Yeah, actually wanted to ask about the V skill and V trigger loadout. How much have you played this matchup, in the sense that have you ever experimented with V skill 1 and V trigger 2, and do you just feel like you're more comfortable in general with the loadout you played, or is it like you figured out that you like this setup more in the matchup specifically?
So the matchup specifically, I think fee skill 2 is actually the answer. I think either or is fine, just because of that low arching kind of jump from the like the fee skill into the jump option with fierce. I think that can really stuff out young Seku's options, and even old, to be honest. If they're just not reacting with the DP, I'm pretty sure you can you can abuse that. But overall, the loadout that I picked for fee trigger and fee skill is just because I find them to be really fun. This like at this period of the game, I'm just trying to find my footing with Blanca and getting bodied in the process.
No, I respect that. Listen, man, you gotta prioritize entertainment over competitive play, because obviously officially competitive play for Street Fighter 5 is done. So anything that we have fun with, people have been playing characters they never played before, people picked up, and I see all the time in stream chats and social media, it's like, why are you playing this character for? Why are you doing this? Like, dude, we're done with 5. It's fine. I can play who I want. That's what video games were about before. I think people forget that element. So I like that with yourself, Naught, and other people we've had in the past. like, I like that they're answering. It's like, you know what? I'm having fun now for the remaining time of SF5's lifespan. I'm having that fun I didn't quite have before, because obviously when you're in the competitive season, like the moment you slip up,
you
like,
try hard, man.
Yeah, like you're sweating, left pit, right pit, everything. Like you got to get it right and get it down. But no, that was interesting. Veggie, have you got any questions you want to ask Naught? Or?
Yes, I was wondering if when it comes to the V skills, if you run V skill 1, would you get like easier access to big whiff punishes, or is it still hard to get anything like that going?
Yeah,
in this matchup?
with whiff punish fee skill 1, it would help in a sense, but again, you know, you're trying to whiff punish, you know, from fierce into fee skill into the follow-up. And for me, I think that's pretty advanced. Like when you're at that level, yeah, like you definitely have mastery with Blanca. With I think with fee skill 1, you have a lot more options for shimmy. Because you can shimmy in that range, and you can just react with the fierce into the fee skill 1. You can cancel that into Blanca Ball and then hit crouch medium, especially if they're in the corner, and you can get a cheeky, you know, like side switch kind of, you know, which way are you gonna block scenario. And on top of that, let's say you thought that I was gonna throw you back into the corner, neutral jump, you know, so like the layers are there. So when you pick fee skill 2, you're depriving yourself of that option, but in a way, I think what his base kit, like he does have it. He does have the options. It's just a little bit tricky.
It is. If you ran V skill 2 and you powered it up and just kept it, do you get like with punish access from mediums as well, or is it
definitely
still?
Or is
so from crouching medium, you get that. I'm pretty sure it's counter hit only. So from crouching medium kick, yeah, you can't get much only with like the normal hit, but you can withstand fierce. Stand fierce is, you know, it's such a weird normal to use just in those scenarios, because like it just depends on how telegraphed the opponent was in that little moment, and if you were just aware of that scenario, let's say you back hop in like anticipation for it, create that space, they whiff it, stand fierce. I do that against Mika's drop kick. That's like a consistent one. But again, with Seku, you can't really be doing that with his with his roundhouse, man. Like if he's just running at you, he's he can close down that space really quickly. So it's a strange one. It's a strange one. I still think this matchup is 5-5. I still think it is like a decent matchup. The scorecard won't help me in my argument, but yeah, I enjoy it.
No, listen, you mentioned Zeku's roundhouse. I'm pretty sure Suleymon knows, and he'll tell you time and time again, the moment you get hit by that on counter hit, you probably lost the round. So that's just...
It's such a bad feeling.
That's just how it goes. Now, obviously moving on from this set here, there's something I always like asking people. It's a bit of a vague question, but I want to get Suleiman's opinion on this first, then we'll get it from Naught. So, Suleymon, in the time Street Fighter 5 has been around, who have been... if you can think of them, who have been your favorite 3 players to watch in CPT?
So in CPT in general, I always liked watching Infectious play, because I feel like he's one of them. So just the way he plays is like very like systematic, and he just does stuff that like shouldn't really work on paper. Like I'll be watching a matchup and he'll just like walk full screen and just start throwing the guy 10 times. I'm like, why is this working? Why is this, you know what I mean? Why is everyone like so scared all of a sudden? He's definitely one that I really enjoyed watching. I'm trying to think who else. I like watching Nemo. Nemo's a very fun guy to watch. I think you see like a new combo every time that guy does stream. And in terms of, I think it'll have to be Problem as well. I still think like watching Problem's Evo run in 2018 was still one of my favorite times watching Street Fighter 5 tournaments. Like that was just watching him play like that dry, and he's just not moving, and he's looking like a final boss, like that stuff. I think those are my three: Infectious, Problem, and Nemo.
Okay, I like that. It's interesting you mentioned Problem X's run. So that year, like general history was about to be made, right? So obviously Problem X won, so he was the first UK player to win an Evolution Championship. Now, if Tokido did win that, he would have been the first player since Daigo in 2010 and 2011 to win Street Fighter titles back-to-back. Because not everyone can do that or has been able to do that or put themselves in the position to do that. So I really liked that final, only because whoever wins, there is going to be history made here, but it favoured the UK guys, so I'm all over that. Yes! Shouts to Promex once again. Naught, what about you? Your favourite 3 players to watch over the lifespan of Street Fighter 5, if you got them.
Yep, so... No. So, so my 3... absolute no contest whatsoever. So the third one would be Mena RD.
Okay.
Second, Problem X.
Okay.
And last but not least, Veggie.
Wow.
What?
Veggie, I actually love watching Veggie, man.
Okay. You got about a minute and 30 seconds to inflate his
Not
ego.
even trolling as well.
No,
I actually love how Veggie plays, man.
You got about a minute 30 to inflate his ego. Go. What's so amazing about it?
Very thankful. Very happy.
I think he already knows, man. No, like he's sick, man.
Wow.
This isn't a bit. This isn't a bit. Like I really like how Veggie plays.
Okay.
Matt is trying to get invited back on the show.
For the run back.
You just made my day.
No, do you know what? No, I like Arsnap because obviously we are in the closing stage of Street Fighter 5, and there'll be some questions that we like to ask. I guess is like, looking back on it, who did you enjoy watching? What character do you think was the strongest? Stuff like that. So good 3 characters, or sorry, 3 players that you both mentioned. I like that. What do you want to mention over her?
Yeah, actually, I wanted to kind of extend that question in the sense that I was gonna ask both of them: do they have a role model, like a player as a role model, and is there a reason for it? So I wanted to kind of extend the question there. Like, you obviously say you like watching these players, but do they kind of work as role models as well, or do you have someone else that you kind of maybe took inspiration on your own gameplay, stuff like that?
Suleymon, you first.
With Sule. Yeah.
I feel like my pride is too big to admit that I've got a role model. There's definitely a lot of players I like to steal from. One player in particular, oh no, for real. I'll just watch that and I'll be like, I'll take that. One of the guys I took most of my shenanigans from, as I'll call them, is probably Gunslinger. Like everyone says he's nuts, but I'm like, that's the good nuts. You don't get it. Like this is there's levels to this. There's random, and then there's there's just stuff that just stresses folk out, that just attacks the mental. So that's I wouldn't say he's a place that I try to emulate, but I definitely steal a lot of stuff from watching him play.
Okay, fair. No, listen, Gunslinger's been creative ever since Guy with Street Fighter 4. I'm pretty sure anyone who used to watch his Guy in Street Fighter 4, they'll tell you the exact same thing. Naught, what about you? Did you have a role model? Did you have someone you looked up to when you were playing Urien or even Blanca at all?
I can't really narrow it down just to one person. The only people that I can really think about are the guys up in the north. Shouts to Reset Aberdeen. They facilitated a lot of my growth and just maintained a massive amount of community spirit, and they were one of the most consistent scenes throughout the entire lifespan of Street Fighter 5. All of them are just great guys, man, and I miss them. It's because I now live in the central belt, so I'm kind of further away from them, but yeah, I still think about them from time to time.
Hey, fingers crossed. Maybe in Street Fighter 6 you'll be able to reconnect and play them online as much as you want.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So fingers crossed in that regard. Right, another question I want to ask you guys before we swiftly move on. Hypothetically, another scenario here. Let's say Street Fighter 5 had one more year. Suleymon, is there any character in Street Fighter 5 that you've looked at them and said, I really wanted to play this character, but I didn't have enough time or didn't feel to invest the time? Is there anyone you really wanted to play but never got around to?
2 really. It was Seth and and Luke, really. Like, I just couldn't be... At the time they came out, I wasn't really playing the game as much as I used to. But I feel like if I was still, like, competing as aggressively as I was back in the day, I maybe would have, like, messed around more with Seth. Same with Luke, just because they do have the stuff I like. But I think, like, end of the day, like, I still think Zeiku's cooler than both of them, so I probably may have still stayed. But those are two characters that come to mind.
Okay, fair. I've been messing around with Seth recently. I mean, I'm not letting the time limit stop me. I mean, every day that goes by, one less day I have with Seth to mess around with V-Trigger 2 and stuff. But hey, listen, you live in the moment, you live and you learn. Naught, what about you? Is there any other character that you were interested in?
So I've got two in mind. Well, to be honest, they're technically my secondaries. Would you want like them or others?
I'll take both.
Okay. So Birdie is basically on top of the list. I really like that character. I think his design is just really cool. I think it's just a shame that I didn't gravitate towards him sooner, just because of the meta. It's super, aggressive, on top of each other, and like if the meta was more kind of like neutral heavy spacing, I think I would have gravitated towards Birdie, and also Bison I've filled around with, and he's just really strong, really strong character. I would have probably have played, let me think, Oro. Oro would have been a cool character to play.
I could see you playing Oro. I could definitely see you playing Oro. Okay, that's interesting. I like that, because a lot of people, the characters that people wanted to mess around with, is either something about them that takes a while and you really have to invest the time in, or they were just a stronger character, you had to give it a little bit of time to kind of mesh with them, sort of thing. I like that. I like the choices you guys are giving me. Right, Veggie of have you got anything SF5 related to ask them before we move on to SF6, or should we...
Yeah, I'd like to, because I think that the Scottish scene has been and is really good in Street Fighter 5. And I was wondering if there was a 5-on-5 country tournament in Europe, how do you guys think the Scottish team would do? I can start with Suleymon.
I think we would, like, personally, like, in my head, I was imagining like a 10v10 tournament, because I think we could easily, like, we could put together a 10-man team in Scotland. But I think Scotland would do well. I think we'd probably be one. I think obviously London would be a problem. France and Lyon would be a problem, but I think everyone else would probably get smoked, in my opinion.
Wow. So
nice.
Okay, so I'm gonna list some countries. You'd think you'd beat 5 of Italy's best players?
100%.
You think you'd beat 5 of Germany's best players?
Definitely, yeah.
Wow, he said that would. Okay. I'm trying to think. Who else is there?
Scandinavia might be a problem. Scandinavia might be a bit more difficult.
No,
but,
hang on. Right, with the Scandinavians, would you mix them together like they did with 00 Nation in SFL, or would you go 5 Norwegian players, 5 Swedish players, 5 Finnish players? I think the Finnish guys might get you lot.
Nah, you reckon?
Let's go.
I think we could take it.
I would. Do you know what? Damn, it's not enough time. I really put money on the Finnish players getting you lot. That's me though.
No, we what was it like? Hopefully there's more regional rivalry when it comes to Street Fighter 6. Because I'm eager. I'm trying to rally the Scottish scene into like having some kind of pride in that identity. So I think we could put together a really strong team.
Okay, interesting. No, do you share the same sentiment, or do you think that maybe you might not be as
yes,
to par with another country? Or
yes,
something?
Absolutely.
Okay, interesting.
No, I think on paper, I think we're really strong.
Nice.
I
think so too. So I like these answers. I like that you guys are not afraid to like say what.
I don't need to explain myself. I think with the players that we've got, I think there's absolutely no question.
I wish we could do, Jammers, a special episode: Finland versus Scotland, 5 versus 5. So sick right now. Oh my days! I would like to see that.
We might note it down on paper for something in the future.
We should.
Who knows?
We definitely should.
That would be so cool.
Speaking of teams, indulge me for a minute. So. Soundboy was the only Scottish player to represent you guys in SFL. Is that correct? I think that's correct.
That's correct, yeah.
Right. If you were to make a team for a Street Fighter League, 4 players, Suleymon, who would be your 4? Let me hear
So
some.
my SFL Chicago Bulls it'd be Soundboy, obviously.
Okay.
I'd have Citizen in there as well.
Okay.
If he comes out of retirement, I'd get Brian in there as well. And for that fourth spot, that's the hard one because it could be like anyone. It could be like me. It could be Naught. It could be Setsuna. That's another one people don't really know. She's very good at the game and she's kind of cooking us as well.
Absolutely.
At locals. So I think.
I think it needs to be Gibbo.
Absolutely, I love Gibbo, but absolutely not.
I think Gibbo. Shin Gibbo. You're not touching him, man.
Just because Gibbo caught you slipping one time doesn't mean he gets on the team. You know what I mean?
Here's the thing, right? Because listen, I know some football players in the Premier League. They have their moments, but listen, they're not consistent. There is a difference, and I'm not saying that Gibbo isn't consistent. It's like, remember, Street Fighter League goes on for like 14 to 16 weeks. Like if he has one good day, that could be it. There's your 10 points. Do not pass glow. Do not collect your $200, like stuff like that. So no,
I believe.
Well, okay, that's all I need from you.
Gibble's insane, man. I don't know what you're talking about.
That's all I need to hear. You know, that is very, very interesting there. So let us. Alvar, you got anything else you wanna add to that? Or
No, I'm ready to move on.
all right. So, gentlemen, let me ask you both. The two betas that came out last year for Street Fighter 6, were you able to get your hands on them, or have you only been watching footage?
I've been able to play both of them, so I was one of the lucky few that got to play both betas.
Okay, perfect.
I've been mainly watching.
Okay, yeah.
I've been mainly watching.
So
Yeah.
we'll get perspectives from different ends. Okay, Suleymon, who did you play in the beta, and your overall thoughts on the games? Have you got any hopes for the games? Have you got any concerns? Talk to me.
So, might come to no surprise. I was playing Kimberly for the most part. I was playing Jamie, but I like the familiarity that Kimberly came. The game I thought was really fun. I really enjoyed it. I really liked how the drive system worked. I didn't really have it definitely beat my expectations because I was thinking jumping into it, thinking oh well, I enjoy Street Fighter 5 so much because I had the time to get it, but now I've got a day job. But once I started playing it, I was hooked immediately. And just the way matches play, just having everything available from the start, rather than it being an annoying comeback mechanic, it's now part of the neutral. So you have to just keep an eye out for it. And when both players are keeping an eye on everyone's resources, the game just becomes very it goes all the way, it goes full circle. It goes back to being a very contained. Dry game because it's almost like a Mexican stand-up all the time, and I really like that. It's all about overloading mental stacks, which is very what I find fun when I'm playing people. So I'm really looking forward to Street Fighter 6.
Okay, I like that. Naught, from what you've witnessed or what you've watched of the game, what do you think about it when you watch it? Because watching is completely different to playing it. So I don't know what you feel when you watch it. Does everything look the same? Is it different? Is it exciting to watch? Is it not quite there because the game's not with us properly? Talk to me.
Yeah, so I've been keeping up with the debates on Twitter, and I feel like the buzzword right now is Drive Impact. Again, I don't have the experience to kind of back it up, but I actually don't think it's going to be a problem. Later on down the line, I don't think it's going to be a problem. I think people will suss out the drive gauge mechanic. Similar to what happened in the beginning of Street Fighter 5, people didn't really know the meta yet and how to utilize their V meter correctly. And I think we're going to see a similar thing with Street Fighter 6. It's just a matter of putting your hands on the controller and just feeling it out and milling it over in your head to see what is the best options. So yeah, I think but overall, it's really exciting. It's a really exciting game. I think the aesthetic is amazing. I think the music is hype. That's kind of like a contentious thing, in the Twitterscape. But no, I think it is a really solid package that we're getting, and I'm really looking forward to it, man. In June, that is, it's not far away, man.
Now, Dare 6.
Blanca.
Well,
Blanca, Dhalsim.
Dhalsim?
Oh yeah,
Dhalsim. Blanca, cool. Dhalsim, and Jamie. Those are the main three right now.
Yeah, you've definitely got an agenda. You have definitely, you have definitely got an agenda. Well, I can't wait to see what damage you do once this game comes out on launch. Now, another question I got to ask is obviously we did talk about it before, and it got announced at the end of the CPT finals last year. There's a CPT coming back, and there is a prize pool for the cup of over $2 million. Suleymon, when you first saw that, do you remember what came to mind when you first saw $2 million as a prize pool? Do you think you really want to get back to the competitive fray, or you're like, I wonder who's going to win that? What came to mind? You still have? Or has he gone? We did have Suleymon, and then he wasn't there. Okay. I like that silence. Anyway.
Oh, sorry. My mic was muted. I didn't realize. No, so yeah, I was already extremely excited. I was to get into the competitive fray once I knew that I liked Street Fighter 6. So I was totally happy to just run it there. So regardless of what the prize pot announcement was going to be, I was already there. But when they announced it, what more excited me is that the fact that that prize pot is going to attract so many other people. So now every tournament is going to be like popping. It's going to be like nuts. I've got a bunch booked already. I'll be going to Head Stomper.
Okay.
So I might be seeing you guys there. Planning on Evo this year as well. I'm just really looking forward to this first year of Street Fighter 6 because that prize pool is going to have everyone acting a fool. So I'm ready for it. I'm here for it.
All right, indulge me. If you did win first place $1 million, would you buy a house? Would you pay to get your favorite character to be put in Street Fighter 6? What would you do with that money?
Oh, that would be a poor investment, just paying for a character.
I've seen worse business ventures, but here we are.
It'd be house, car. I don't know what the rest of it. I'm an accountant by trade, so my answer is going to be boring regardless. You know what I mean? So it's like, just house and car is the simple ones. I don't know what I would do with the rest.
Okay.
Probably put it back into the local scene. I would probably want to I would probably want to invest that back into the local scene, get some more equipment, just book out better venues, stuff like that, really.
Okay, interesting. No, I like those earnest goals there. I wanted to support the scene and give back. Naught, what about you? When you saw that $2 million prize pool, what came to mind when you saw it? You said, yeah, Blanca's definitely going to do the trick here, or did something else come to mind?
So my initial opinion was that it's going to bring a lot more people into the scene. Just the fact that there's going to be eyes on the fact that the scene's going to see that amount of money in prize pool. I think it's stepping into that esports kind of ecosystem. Putting the Capcom's foot into the arena. Yes, we've got those digits to back us up, but overall, I think it's a positive thing. It's a positive thing for the scene, especially for the people who've stuck it out and who have been here for a long time. It's nice to see that recognition.
That's good. And if you did win first place, $1 million in your account, well, you're going to get taxed, so you're not going to get all of it. But if you had a lot of money, what would you do? Would you invest in the house? Would you take Suleiman's car? Would you outbid him for the same car? What would you do?
I think I would go just on a really nice cruise. That's going to be me. Keep it nice and simple, man.
All I ask is if you
soak up the sun.
All I ask is that you remember me or Vahan Vegi and you give us a special...
Send us a postcard.
That's it.
Special VIP invitation there.
Yeah, I kind of wanted to return to the characters of Street Fighter V for a moment because I wanted to ask you both, while we're waiting for the game, is there a character that you're anticipating or excited to try, and that did it surprise you? Because there's a lot of people who want to dabble into different archetypes of characters, and they might surprise themselves sometimes with the character picks. So I kind of wanted to ask an in-depth question regarding that. Are you excited, and are you at the same time surprised about a character that you're excited for?
Is this for Street Fighter 6?
Yeah, it's for Street Fighter 6. I mean, Suleymon, I can see you playing Lily. Do you see yourself as a Lily player or not?
Nah, that don't really interest me that much. I think the ones I have that interest me is DJ and Maritza. Yeah. Okay. And I don't play either of those archetypes that often.
Okay.
I like the damage from her. So I like her voice. I think her voice actor is awesome. The English one.
Mm-hmm.
And as for DJ, I like the little sway moves that got shown in the dev matches. He looks cheeky. He looks like he could like fluster some folk. So I think both those characters are ones I would probably be looking to try out. So those I'd say those characters aren't really usually what I'd kind of go for. I usually like a bit more high mobility type folk. But I'm very much happy with Kimberly. So if they turn out that I don't gel with them, totally fine with that. You know what I mean? I'm already settled.
Okay. Not what about you? I mean, I could see you dabbling with a bit of Honda. Maybe JP might catch your eye.
A little bit of Honda.
100 hand slap.
I think out of like the new characters, the fresh blood, I would probably say like Manon. Manon looks pretty cool, man. Yeah, just from what's been like shown, I just want to test her out. Yeah,
she looks
really cool.
I know, right up my alley.
Yep, Laura-esque,
really strong.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's a combination of Laura, Mika, a little bit of G, because obviously with G's leveling system, when he got knocked down, he loses it. With Manon, it looks like it's going to stay till the end of time.
Yeah.
So if you do let her get past level 3, then my condolences. If you do get grabbed, but then it's going to be interesting. Like we said, it's all like theory and being excited by it. But once we get our hands on it, be able to sink our teeth into a lot of these characters, I think we're going to see. Well, nonsense is not going to be able to describe what we're going to be witnessing with that drive system, because obviously Suleymon brought up a good point. It's like everything's there at the start. That could be a benefit, but that could also be a detriment. We don't know, but we're going to be, as players, we are going to forge a meta ourselves, so I actually cannot wait for that. Now, one last question before I hit you guys with my final question. So we had a World Warrior program for the CPT last year. Did any of you enter that CPT World Warrior, or did you guys just watch it?
I just watched. I unfortunately wasn't competing at that point, so I did watch. I'd keep tabs on it and hear about how Ending Walker just tore through the entirety of the UK repeatedly.
Okay, so obviously just to bring you up to speed, there were 5 ranking tournaments which led into a regional final basically, and I just wanted to get your opinion of CPT is rolling around for SF6. Do you think the World Warrior program should return in the exact same fashion, as in 5 ranking events leading to a regional final, or should it just be a strict leaderboard and top spot goes to CPT? Suleymon, let me get your opinions, because I know we spoke about this before the show went live, and I think you had something else you wanted to add as well?
I think in terms of like the World Warrior thing, I think it should end up with a regional final. I don't think, even though like Ending Walk had like a very dominant run, I don't think that's something that will happen often. I think the way EU is, like at the higher level players, even though we have like our strong players like Hurricane, your Problem X's, anyone can kind of get got by anyone.
Yes.
So it should really be down to rewarding people who are consistently trying to perform well. And once you've managed to like qualify for that tournament, like that will make it a very interesting watch, because now like for example, like the guy who just managed to get it into that qualifying event, he could very well make it, because anyone could make it on a good day. So I think it provides more opportunities for people who are like maybe seen as underdogs to get it. I think that'd be more entertaining. But as for World Warrior events, in terms of like but it depends on like the how it's like allocated out. Like in terms of like slots, I know like the Capcom Cup they currently worked with was obviously just under limitations of COVID and whatnot, and just everyone being online and whatnot. But I do think they hope they rejig the spaces, the slots attached to each region quite a bit, because I think like having like Japan, the whole of Japan and the UK, and just being like, okay, these two countries, these two places get the same number of slots. I feel like I can see why they do it, and I understand. Like, I think that was the best decision they could have made at the time. I do think it has kind of resulted in like some regions being kind of underrepresented, and that may have like I wouldn't say damaged integrity, because I think that was a very legit Capcom Cup. But I do think it might have made there was a bit of missed opportunities there on that front.
Okay, obviously there's room for improvement. They may be making changes as we speak right now. A quick impromptu question before I get Naught's opinions on this. Suleymon, would you prefer a World Cup style Capcom Cup like we got a couple of months ago, or do you want to see 32 of the world's best players? What would you rather see?
I'm gonna be honest, like, I think if you asked me this question like 2 or 3 years ago, I probably would have said World Cup style. But considering how way more entertaining this last Capcom Cup was, this was like one of my favorite ones to watch. Knowing that there was these like killers from all these underrepresented regions, I do think it's probably, if they kind of lean a bit more, not too hard in terms of just getting everyone from every region, but leaning a bit more towards giving like people from underrepresented regions a chance. I think it results in a much better show for like everyone to watch, and it kind of creates like a better like overall story for like all these players coming through.
Interesting, because obviously myself and Veggie were at the Cup as well as the production crew. We had a lot of people there, which at first glance they weren't too on board with it, and then when they actually watched the Cup unfold, they said, "Oh my god, this is actually pretty good." But at the end of the day, it was delivering action. So you guys watching at home, if you're saying you enjoyed that degree and they can kind of slightly replicate that, but not stray too far away from what we remember and loved before the pandemic, I think they'll maybe be able to find that balance over the years in Street Fighter 6. Fingers crossed. They can't make any promises, but no, we'll see. We'll see. I like that answer. Naught, what about you? Going back to the first question before we go into the impromptu one. The World Warrior program, do you think there should be, when it returns, do you think there should be 5 ranking events to a regional final, or do you think there should be a straight leaderboard that goes, the winner just goes straight to the Cup? What do you think?
Yep. So I would prefer having as much representation in the world in these tournaments, man. I think having kind of like that World Cup format would be actually really cool, just for the fact that all of these different countries have that kind of moment to showcase to the world what they can do. I would sway myself more into the representation part, I would say. And I know for a lot of people, the competitive integrity is like a contentious thing, and I get it to a certain degree. But I think for us to move forward with productions, and especially calling it like the World Warrior, I think it would be a missed opportunity if we didn't incorporate a big amount of representation globally. So that again, that's just my opinion, but yeah, I think it's really cool, man.
Okay, I like that. I need to start asking more people on the show regarding what would they prefer, World Warrior or 32 of the world's best players. We'll get to see that, interestingly enough. Right, I do have one more question before we let you gents go. But before that, Veggie, have you got anything you want to add, or has anyone got anything they want to?
I want to add on when Suleymon was talking about Kimberly, because I just wanted to know how much of a carryover is it from Zeku. I don't know if you played Guy in Street Fighter 4, but at least from Zeku to Kimberly. Do you feel like how quickly do you feel like you could learn Kimberly from being a Zeku main?
I think it definitely helped. I definitely think it gave me a bit of a head start. Like, a lot of the target combos are the same, the command grabs the same, run stop shenanigans pretty much work the same way. One of the little muscle memory things is that you run stop with a punch button instead of a kick button. But other than that, I find myself playing her very similarly to like young Zeku, but she also has like, the invincible DP that old Zeku has. So I'm feeling I'm getting to enjoy best of both worlds there. But no, I definitely think she's close enough and familiar enough. I think the familiarity is probably why I probably took to her like quite quickly, because she was a really fun character to play.
Interesting.
You like that you're now back to having just one form with this archetype? Or would you like to be able to switch to like a different form, like a zoning form or whatever?
I'm happy that's one form, purely because like when I used to play Zeku back in like the day, people used to always get smart with me saying, "Oh, look, he's gonna backdash and transform because he can't play old." I'm just glad I don't have to hear that anymore. But
they'll get something else. They'll catch it. Oh look, he's gonna reload the graffiti cans and do vandalism again. Oh, here we go. Something like that.
As if you saw it coming, why did you get hit by it? But yeah, it's one of those ones, isn't it? So like,
there you go.
That was great.
That's brilliant.
I actually,
go on, please.
One question popped into my mind just now regarding the launch of Street Fighter 6, or like fighting game in general, are you more of a person where you want to experiment on your own, or would you rather gather in groups on the launch day and the next week, for example, and just try to absorb information together with other people? And we can start with Suleymon once again.
For me, I'm very much, I like playing around other people. I like running sets with them. I like sharing ideas and just how we approach matchups and stuff like that. So I'm not really big on like just labbing by myself and just trying to figure out matchups that way. Back in the day when it was like locals, it was just me, Naught, and the camera player, you might remember him, called Dark Moon Hado. It would just be us three just coming in offline.
That's cool.
Coming to offline sessions and just us playing like on our own, and that's what I credited most of my leveling up to, rather than labbing or so. So for Street Fighter 6 launch, like we've actually got like a bracket, like the day after the game comes out, like what the thing comes out on the Friday, we've got a tournament bracket on the Friday for our tournament for Street Fighter 6,
Nice.
and obviously next week after that is Head Stomper.
Cool.
So like I'm fully like, it's one of the reasons why I also wanted to kind of like put a lot of effort into making sure the locals are like popping again up north up here. So we're in a good space for that front.
I like that. Brilliant. Naught, what about you? Do you like to practice in perfect solitude with your Blanca, or do you like to have some friends over?
Clearly not. No. So I love to collaborate. I love to collaborate with other players. As Sully alluded to, me, him, and Dark Moon would always be just meeting up and rinsing sets and just talking about the game, man. Just very casually, but there's an air of competitiveness, friendly rivalry, and that's what I prefer. Back in the day, I did like to do some labbing. I used to lab really specific scenarios with Urian just to see what the outcome would be, and I think I'm probably going to find myself doing that with other characters in Street Fighter 6. I think my day one will be Blanca, just to see what he can possibly do, and then that'll evolve into something else, hopefully. But yeah, I think the community side is where it shines for me.
I love that answer from the both of you. Right, we got time for one last question. It is my surprise question like this. So obviously we've got a full roster announced of real-time commentators in the game. You've got Vicious, James Chen, Tasty Steve, Papa Chihuahua. You got wrestlers in there. You got the lot. But if you could have your favorite two commentators in Street Fighter 6 as real-time commentators, who would they be? Suleymon, I want your choices first.
So this one is a bit more niche, but like my favorite commentary duo is Shoryu Sengan and Pax.
Okay.
They've been like, they're just very funny the way they bounce off each other and whatnot. And like they're one of the things I remember like quite fondly every time I used to travel down to WSOs. I think that's the first duo that comes to my head. Like Sengan and like F-Word would work as well. Like I think F-Word should already be in there in my opinion.
Well, fingers crossed, maybe in the near future. Again, his name's been in high demand, so is Yipes, so fingers crossed, man, fingers crossed. Naught, what about you? If you could have two commentators in Street Fighter 6 as real-time commentators, your favorite ones, who would they be?
Jammers, are you in it?
No.
You in the game?
I mean, what? What?
So Jammers, yep, you are literally one of my favorite commentators. So yep, Jammers, and no, that was a good shout about Yipes. Yeah, I think Yipes would be pretty cool to have. Yeah.
Okay, interesting. Again, I like asking this because again, I like Suleiman's answer because that was not expected. Not a lot of people remember Sengan's commentary, and then not a lot of people will put Pax in that category. So I like that you merged the two together, and then obviously shout outs to Naught as well, coming with the two that he wants in the game. I mean, look, we need to know that this first 8 actually goes well and has a good reception before they probably even think about putting anybody else in the game. So full credit again, 'cause I always say this, I said if Vicious never got announced to be in the game, this conversation would never have cropped up. Yeah, it would never have crossed anybody's mind. So I like the fact that it is a topic for discussion, and we can have a kind of relish in the moment that we do have that opportunity or available, that people represent us in an actual game. It's a great career path, career opportunity. I like that. Right, gentlemen, I believe we are just about out of time with you guys. So Richard, if you put the fight card on the screen right now so everybody knows where to follow these guys. They've got social medias. Follow their Twitter account. Suleymon does some funny tweets. So does Naught. not put flipping Skullomania as his picture. Maybe he's alluded to something. Maybe he wants a character to come back in Street Fighter 6. We'll see. But yes, gentlemen, this is where we give you the podium. So any plugins, any shouts, anyone you want to thank, now is your chance. Suleymon, all yours.
So, shout outs to Burn to Fight Glasgow for running the fighting game scene up in Glasgow. Shout out to Launch, he's one of the main guys that has been able to kind of keep everything going for us. Also, shout out to Rushdown Edinburgh. That's our sister scene over there, and Giant Attack Dundee. So mainly shout outs to those guys. Also, give me a follow. You can see me there at Suleymon. I also run a little podcast along with Frost and Soundboy called Behind the Sticks. You can follow that at Behind Sticks. So give that a chance, where we just chat about fighting games and whatnot, and just the state of Street Fighter focused events, and we'll have a good bit of stuff to talk about when Street Fighter 6 comes out. So those are the main ones that come to the top of my head.
Perfect. And Naught, what about you? Anyone you'd like to thank? Anyone want to shout out? All yours.
Yep. So shouts to the entirety of the Scottish scene. You guys are great, some of the best in the business. Shouts to Sully for washing me today. And thirdly, I want to say happy birthday to my mum. Happy birthday, mum.
Hey!
Happy birthday, Naught.
Happy birthday, mum. There you go. What shout out? Is that it? I thought you had a whole song sing-along.
That's it.
Oh, there's a whole sing-along. I'll get ready for it. That's okay. My mistake. All right, gentlemen, that was absolutely perfect. Again, please follow these guys on their social media accounts and check out all the stuff that Suleymon's been doing for this scene. Keep an eye on them. These guys, you're going to see these faces in Street Fighter 6, playing different characters, of course. Well, not staying with Blanca, so he's just got updated graphics. That's about it. And he got a doll. But
Call of the
yes,
Wild.
it is going to be amazing. But yes, gentlemen, we do have to close out the show. We are short on time. So when you are ready, you can leave the Discord call, and we will give you a thank you message once again in a couple of minutes. Okay, perfect. I don't know. I didn't get a response or anything.
Oh wait, sorry. Like we're supposed to
guys.
Okay. I didn't get a response.
Okay, guys.
Like that.
Thank you. Bye.
All right, much appreciated. No. Just jokes aside, that was really fun. No, was happy to do that.
All right,
Thank you for having us on, guys.
All right, cool. Catch you guys later. Innit?
Take
Just
care,
trolling.
James.
Good night.
Take care, guys.
All right, so
Bye-bye.
No, that was obviously one-sided performance there. Well played from Suleymon. I do felt in a few aspects that, again, Naught was getting started. He just couldn't quite find the perfect spacing, the optimal spacing to get the reward. I do kind of agree with you, Ovaha. He probably should change his V skill or V system layout.
Or at least had a break.
Yeah, just something like that, just to kind of break Suleyman's momentum. But again, once Suleymon gets started, because he's actually had decent tournament results as well, and he's actually caused a lot of upsets when he was competitively playing. But no, it was interesting. But yeah, I mean, Vega, did you enjoy tonight as well, watching a matchup that we don't see at all?
I enjoyed it, but I feel like I really wanted to see the comeback of, like, the sets comeback of Street Fighter 5 comebacks, and I feel like we had it. It was coming, and it was like, I really enjoyed watching the sets, but it's always like unfortunate when it ends the way it ended. And you know what? Suleymon said that he had actually been losing to him in the locals, so this is like the adaptation, the first time he properly adapts to it. So Naught is kind of caught off guard with that. So it would have been really cool if we could have a run back before Street Fighter 6, but that's like, there's a lot of run backs in the, what's it called, in the line?
In the archives.
Yeah, in the archives.
In the queue.
So that's probably not going to be a thing, but I really enjoyed the set, but I really wanted that comeback of a lifetime, because it was so close.
It was at the cusp of our fingertips.
Yes, but it was an amazing set, and I really enjoyed watching it.
He was showing.
I just had a great time being back and talking with everyone. It's just great. How did I do on the audition, Ovaha?
You did great. You're in.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay, I like that. Do you know what? Ovaha did what a lot of employers or like people don't do. He responded to you on the spot. They don't do that.
Yeah, I was like, oh, we'll call you tomorrow. Or better yet, we'll call you in a few weeks.
And they just never do. It's just fantastic. Oh, look, there you go. We actually did show this picture last week when you weren't here. But yes,
great.
Veggie is having a good time, and he is back with us in the fray to talk some more Street Fighter. But yes, ladies and gentlemen, that concludes tonight's episode. Don't forget,
You didn't ask me,
June
Jammers.
2nd.
You didn't
What?
ask if I liked the episode today.
But I already asked you a question, and you added on that. Do you want me to ask you?
Yes, I would like for you to ask
What?
if
So
I liked
you
the
two are
episode
such
today.
babies. Okay, how did you feel about the episode?
Thanks for asking, Jammers. I really liked the episode, and even if we didn't have the best comeback or like the comeback of the century, the comeback of the jungle, I really enjoyed talking with the both of them. They are fantastic people, and they had great insight on the game, inside and outside, and I can't wait to see what they do in Street Fighter 6.
Anyway, yeah, fantastic. I thought I was petty. I think that guy's the king
What
of
did
petty
you think,
over there.
Jammers?
What did I think?
What did you think, Jammers?
I got to enjoy Street Fighter each and every week. I enjoyed it. I learned a couple of things that I actually might go and dabble with tomorrow with Zeku in training mode, because that's a character, like I said, he's probably one of the few characters, well, both those characters is one of the few characters I don't actually sit down and go, you know what do you actually do? I study you for commentary purposes or to beat you. I don't actually go, what do you do? Let's have some fun with this. How difficult is it? Where do I have to implement it? Such like that. So that was interesting. Very interesting, and learned a lot there. Again, like you said, and they delved into it, and there's going to be more Scottish representations. I like the fact that we got to hear their opinions regarding everything about this scene, as well as the game in general. Right. Now I can do it. Don't forget, June 2nd, that's when the game comes out. The 411 is you get to play 11 other characters, 10 other characters on that date. You haven't pre-ordered it now, please go and pre-order it. It's on all the platforms, PS5, PS4, Xbox Series X and S, not Xbox One, unfortunately. And it is going to be on Steam as well. The vast majority of you are on Steam. Remember, prepay it now, and nearer the time, you'll be able to load it up, and then when the day actually drops, you just be able to open the game and play it with everyone else. There's the standard edition, the deluxe edition, and the ultimate edition. If you have cash to splash, then you can get the ultimate pass. If you just want characters, then just get the deluxe edition. Nowadays, when it comes to gaming, when they do have 3 editions, it's probably best to get the middle one, because there's a fine balance between just getting the game and extra content that you might need and unlock later. But we will see in regards to that. And then do not forget as well, we do have a TikTok page, the official TikTok page for Street Fighter. Go on there, give it a follow. I know you guys get sent TikToks on your WhatsApp groups and your friends, and you probably don't have a TikTok account, but I want you to make one, and I want you to follow the TikTok account. It's down there. Just go on there and type in Street Fighter and look for a verified tick. Don't look for these frauds. Look for that verified tick and get that on that. But yes, other than that, I believe we are just about done for this week. Nothing to announce. We're going to be back with another episode next week. And yes, things are coming thick and fast. We're trying to bring you as much SF5 action as we can before we make that transition, because when we get there, June 2nd, swift transition, getting onto Street Fighter 6. But yes,
that's crazy.
Dominating performance by the Suleymon with Zeku with the 10-0, but some people might call it 10 noughts. And until that point, we'll see you next week. Good night.